What is up, everybody? Sorry for the technical difficulties. I got a full house on this side and I had to ask the wife to go and shut down all the laptops and the iPads and the sucking all the dang internet. But we look to be good. How you doing, Sean? Glad you could make it. Definitely would never come out and say Dennis Harmon is not Bridge Guy. I wouldn't do that. But I am doing my due diligence to find out 100%. Can't leave any room for mistakes. Hey, Annie. Thank you for making it. We have a pretty good show today. First thing we're going to dive into is sadistic cops and also cops. Actually, these were ex-cops that became that were found to be serial killers. So I spent a few days kind of going over a few cases, and I did find some interesting things. And then after we go over that, we're going to go over the Carlie Brucia case. Now, I found some crazy similarities between that case and the Delphi murders. So we'll talk about that. We'll take it slow. If anybody wants to talk about anything or you want to get a conversation going, just stop me, let me know, because I'm really here for the conversation and to get some dialogue. That includes you, Sean. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a gentleman by the name of Daniel Holtzclaw. Now, you guys have probably heard of this gentleman. Now, he was an active police officer. And for the things that he was caught doing and convicted of, I think he's basically convicted. He's doing over 250 years in prison for multiple rapes, sodomy. I guess sodomy of the mouth is a thing. I didn't know that was a thing. I always thought sodomy was something to do with the butt, but I guess it's just forcing. I'm not sure. So I found that interesting. You learn something new every day. Oh, also, I lost an argument with my wife about what a diuretic was. See, I thought a diuretic had to do with something that made you help you poop. I didn't know that it made you pee also. So, kind of makes you take a step back and realize what you actually know about the English language. What the true definition of words really mean. Sometimes they're not specific. It's more about a certain function, I guess. But let's take a look. Once again, this man's name is Daniel Holtzclaw. You guys may be familiar with this case. It's only a handful of years old here. What up, Tuck? Sorry, this is important. You gotta take a look at it. Oh yeah, for sure. Well, so far we got a great bunch. Actually, looks like Sean Harmon created a new or activated one of his channels. So glad to have you. Hopefully you won't block me from that one, sir. Okay, let's dive right into it. Tell me what you guys think of this guy. Now, to me, if Bridge Guy is a police officer, part of law enforcement from one of the neighboring states, And we're going to talk about that theory here after we go through these videos and think about the possibilities. He reminds me of this type of guy, somebody that just operates with impunity um, until they don't. Let's take a look.
City cop Daniel Holtzclaw has been sentenced to 263 years in prison for raping and sexually victimizing more than a dozen women while on patrol in a low-income neighborhood. According to state court records, Holtzclaw's attorney filed a motion for a new trial just a day before he was to be sentenced. The judge denied the motion in Thursday's hearing. The 29-year-old was convicted last month on 18 counts, including 4 counts of first-degree rape.
Count 8, defendant is guilty of the crime of forcible oral sodomy and punishment is set at 20 years. Count 9.
During Holtzclaw's trial,
Oral
13 women
sodomy.
testified that the former cop had
Never heard of
coerced
that.
them into having sex after threatening to arrest them for possessing drug paraphernalia or on outstanding warrants.
There was another version of that I should have actually played. It was basically the judge, and it was only the judge kind of handing out his sentencing and telling him what he was found guilty of. And it was like a 12-minute video. This dude was like, he got 5 years for apparently forceful oral sodomy. He had like 6 counts of those, and each one was 5 years. Then he had some rape. And then it was like, we find you not guilty on stalking. It's like, dude, you just gave me 300 years in prison and you're telling me I'm not guilty for stalking. Like, why didn't you just stop after you had over 100 years? You know what I mean? Like, just tell the man he has life in prison. But I guess each charge, I think, is special to each victim. They want to hear what he's being charged for what he did to them. So it's probably very satisfying when you hear 30 years in prison for, the forceful rape or whatever, and you've been a victim of his, and you're like, this guy is never getting out of prison. But it is short enough. I actually meant to record the longer one. So let's go ahead and play this again.
Former Oklahoma City cop Daniel Holtzclaw has been sentenced to 263 years in prison for raping and sexually victimizing more than a dozen women
Amber.
while on patrol in a low-income neighborhood. According to state court records,
The stat
Holtzclaw's attorney
master.
filed a motion for a new trial just a day before he was to be sentenced. The judge denied the motion in Thursday's hearing. The 29-year-old was convicted last month on 18 counts, including 4 counts of first-degree rape.
Count 8, defendant is guilty of the crime of forcible oral sodomy and punishment is set at 20 years. Count 9.
During Holtzclaw's trial, 13 women testified that the former cop had coerced them into having sex after threatening to arrest them for possessing drug paraphernalia or on outstanding warrants.
Well, if you're gonna stalk anybody, it should be Tech Death, because he's adorable, adorbs even. First of all, Sean, I like turtles, Harmon. I'm gonna feed the troll for a second, but the real Sean's already here, unless somebody blocked him. I hope not. Sean's welcome here. He's allowed to talk about anything he wants to. Let's see here. Damn, you're good, Amber. That's why I made you a mod. You should be able to post anything you want in that chat, because You know the exact direction to take it. You are tech. There's no doubt about that. Oh, well, that's cool. Good thing it was just a little snippet, huh? Sean Harmon's son sounds like a really cool person. Making fun of somebody, making fun of a traumatized person seems real cool. Yeah. Well, he got blocked from this channel, so we don't play that shit. All right. So let's move on to Chris Dorner. Now, I remember this was on every channel when this broke. Now, this was some crazy shit. How many of you remember Chris Dorner? Oh no, thank you, Amber. I really do appreciate it. I love watching you in any other chat when you actually do the research and find those statistics because those numbers mean a lot. When you have a majority of people doing a certain thing with a certain illness, it's safe to say that mathematically, the chance of a certain things happening, you know, or something you could expect based on the statistics. Oh wow. Well, the one thing, are you talking about Chris Dorner? Annie? Never trust a man with pigs unless they're guinea pigs. Isaiah, welcome. My main man on Royal. Welcome, sir. Oh, the first one. Okay. Yeah, that dude is a super creep. And just to see him like getting all, he never thought he would get caught. He was so sad in jail. But you're saying he might be innocent? What'd you say, Annie? Let's see. Let me put this back up. I also read that the suspects he supposedly did this to had conspired together and that he may be not guilty. Yeah, he didn't react like a guilty person. See, that's what I'm saying. You can't trust anything. People do conspire. Imagine if 5 of us got together to conspire against another person. Nobody would ever know. Don't trust anything. Trust the evidence. All right, let's take a look. Where's that, AJ? Don't leave yet. Don't go there yet. Just hang out for a little bit and then we'll all go together to where the cool people are. Yeah, he didn't act guilty. I mean, he definitely acted sad, but that's not what a guilty person is. Here in a minute, we'll show you what a guilty, when we actually have a story later on tonight where the dude is convicted. The judge gives him his ruling. He says guilty and he kind of shakes his head and he's like, yeah. And he kind of mouths, yeah, of course. No, Monroe, this is the beginning. You miss one little clip. Let's see. My dad killed Missy Beaver. I sent proof to Sleuth. Oh, you're so stupid. Let me do the honors. Yeah, pretty sure that's Sean Harmon's son. Because I blocked him a long time ago. That name's so stupid. Just disrespectful. We ain't playing that shit. All right, let's jump into the next one. You want to go get a real name, come back? That's cool. We can talk then. And that's only because Graz likes you. But that name's not coming up in my chat. All righty. So now this is a crazy story. This is a story of revenge. Now, the only reason I'm including this one is because of the whole possibility of revenge. You know, people kill for a lot of reasons. There's a lot of 7 deadly sins, you know. You got Tobe Lesenby who talks about pride. You know, I found that interesting. You know, people kill for pride. Pride is a reason to kill a lot of people. But yeah, revenge. So this is a story of revenge, and I wonder if the Delphi murders could possibly be based on revenge. I mean, why else? From my feeling, my gut feeling, and from what I hear, there was no sexual assault. So to target 2 young girls, and it's possible that this person did not have the time to complete this action, but if he had time to complete, and he may have assaulted them somewhat, and that may have caused everything to kind of blow out of proportion and out of control the way it did. But I mean, from what we understand, these girls were brutally murdered to the point where law enforcement can't talk about it. And if there was some type of signatures there, you know, this might be a revenge killing. I mean, it's possible. So, on that note or token, Chris Dorner, ladies and gentlemen.
Breaking news right now. For that, we go to the ABC News Desk.
Thank you, Terry. I'm Rob Nelson at ABC headquarters in New York, and we begin with breaking news from Southern California. Investigators have located charred human remains within the debris of that burned-out cabin where it's believed Christopher Dorner was holed up. Investigators tell ABC News that identification will be attempted through forensic means. Now, if Dorner is positively identified, it would bring an end to the largest manhunt in the history of the Los Angeles Police Department. ABC's Cecilia Vega has the very latest on this quickly developing story.
It was in this cabin deep in Big Bear Mountain outside Los Angeles that the 10-day international manhunt for Christopher Dorner may have finally come to its grisly end. But tonight, Dorner's fate is still unclear. Was the man accused of killing 4 people, 2 of them police officers, among today's dead? After an
Oh, I'm sorry, I was muted. I just wanted to pause this real quick. Sammy Lee stated here that Libby's dad passed. Is it? Can anybody confirm that? That's breaking news. That's some breaking Delphi news. If anybody can find a link on that, we'll go ahead and we'll play that.
intense day-long standoff with police, the cabin in which the suspect had been holed up all day went up in flames.
We believe that the person that barricaded himself inside the cabin and engaged in
Thank you.
gunfire with our deputies and other law enforcement officers is still inside there even though the building burned, yes.
The dramatic showdown began this afternoon. Volleys of gunfire exchanged between officers and the man they believe to be Dorner, formerly one of their own with $1 million bounty on his
Thank you,
head,
Annie.
holed up inside this hillside cabin, all captured on camera by local station KCBS.
Yes.
Earlier, Dorner
Yes, I
allegedly
have.
burglarized a nearby home, tied up 2 women and stole their vehicle. One of them reportedly broke free and called for help. The massive response witnessed by our Los Angeles affiliate, KABC.
Well, I'm here off of Bryant Street and Highway 38 where we're seeing a massive, and I can't reiterate this, a massive police presence.
During today's gunfire, 2 San Bernardino County deputies were shot.
One of our deputies was injured. He's being treated here at Loma Linda. And unfortunately, one of our deputies passed away as a result of his injuries.
It brought the body count to 4, allegedly at Dorner's hand, along with 3 injured. Authorities say Dorner began his deadly rampage last Sunday with a grisly double homicide. 28-year-old Monica Kwan and her fiancé, Keith Lawrence, shot at close range as they sat in their car. A murder with no apparent motive. The couple had no known enemies. Kwan was a popular college basketball coach. But she was also the daughter of a retired LA police captain, Randy Kwan, just one of many against whom Dorner, an ex-LAPD officer himself, held a grudge.
Today, we have identified Christopher Jordan Dorner as a suspect in this double homicide.
33-year-old Dorner, a lieutenant in the U.S. Navy Reserves, honorably discharged just 11 days ago, had been fired in 2009 from the LAPD. He threatened individual officers in an 8-page manifesto against the department that he posted online. And Wednesday, he attempted, unsuccessfully, to hijack a boat in San Diego.
He pointed a handgun at the victim, who's an 81-year-old male, and demanded the boat.
Then Thursday, Dorner allegedly shot 3 police officers in Riverside County, killing one and wounding the others. 34-year-old Riverside officer Michael Crane, a married father of 2, was killed in the attack. Police launched the largest manhunt in LAPD history, following up on more than 1,000 tips. Hundreds of officers crisscrossing the country for days, including efforts in Tijuana, Mexico, San Diego County, and Big Bear. The possible motive? All spelled out in that online manifesto, where Dorner accused specific officers of covering up police brutality by making him the scapegoat. He vowed revenge, writing, "When the truth comes out, the killing stops." Ariana Williams knows Dorner better than most. She dated him 5 years ago and says he was unraveling even back then, always keeping weapons close by.
He'd be in the bed and there'd be one by the bed. There'd be one on the kitchen counter.
Damn, sounds like me.
Or something. Maybe I saw in the
This made
bathroom
me
one
kind
day
of
or in the
step back
kitchen.
and look at
So
myself.
there'd be several weapons just lying around in my domain, and I just thought these are things that just transpired over time, and I just thought were strange.
One major challenge for authorities, because of his police and military training,
In that case,
Dorner
my
knew
wife is
all
an
their
enabler.
methods and tactics. In that manifesto, he even taunted the LAPD. "I have the strength and benefits
Oh,
of
what
being
up, pimp?
unpredictable,
Welcome,
unconventional,
man.
and
Glad you can make
unforgiving,"
it.
he wrote. "I will utilize every bit of small arms training, demolition,
Oh, he
ordnance,
was a
and
Marine.
survival training I've been given." It was no idle threat. The last tangible clue where Dorner might be, the burnt-out hulk of his truck near Big Bear Lake Thursday night. But nobody was inside. This video released by TMZ just yesterday allegedly shows Dorner only 48 hours before the murders. He's at a sporting goods shop carrying in 2 small yellow scuba tanks as he walks into the scuba section. Could he have used them in that burning cabin where he may have taken his final breath?
The plan tonight is they have a very large
Very
crime
smart.
scene to process, and that's what they will begin doing. They have a homicide investigation to do, and they will need a large number of investigators out there to complete this job.
So many questions remain as authorities now sift through the rubble on Big Bear Mountain. For Nightline, I'm Cecilia Vega in Los Angeles.
All right, I want to go back to when he purchases the scuba tank. It reminded me of the movie The Red Dragon. Okay, let's watch this little snippet real quick.
Released by TMZ just yesterday allegedly shows Dorner only 48 hours before the murders. He's at a sporting goods shop carrying in 2 small yellow scuba tanks as he walks into the scuba section. Could he have used them in that burning cabin where he may have taken his final breath?
See, to me, he could have laid down possibly a corpse and did all this wearing the scuba mask, getting that oxygen, covering his eyes, doing all this stuff while it's smoking, and then escaping. If you've ever seen the movie The Red Dragon, he kills somebody, brings them back, leaves the corpse there, puts his dentures in the mouth of the corpse, and tricks a blind woman into thinking that he killed himself there. That way, when the police show up, they believe that he's dead. And he burns up, and then when the smoke and the fire kind of settles, they go and check the dental records and find the dentures. So I wonder if something like that took place here. This guy seems smart enough to think like that. Why else would he have those oxygen tanks? Unless he's like trying to set up. I think they could be considered explosives. I don't know. Maybe he could shoot at them, or I don't know. That's the first thing I thought of. What a brilliant idea. Knowing that they would smoke him out, get oxygen tanks. Get the hell out of there. Okay, so let's finish. Let's go ahead and get into our final killer cop. Now, this one is really popular. You guys are going to know exactly who this is. Very interesting case into the mind of a sadistic serial killer / rapist. Yeah, this guy gives me chills, especially this interview. And I could have picked any video on this guy, but this is the one I picked because of an interview here. Gives us a little bit of insight into what somebody close to this person was seeing. They spent years and years with a serial killer without knowing it. So whoever this bridge guy is, somebody can be spending time with him. Somebody can be sitting next to him. So if you spend lots of time with a standoffish, let's say law enforcement agency or a partner, and he doesn't share a lot with you, I want you to pay close attention to this video here.
Story this is the suspected Golden State Killer was back in a courtroom today. A judge ruled that prosecutors can collect DNA and fingerprints from Joseph DeAngelo, who is believed to be behind at least a dozen killings and more than 50 rapes during the 70s and 80s. So just last week, after decades on the run, he was tracked down in part by detectives who used genealogy websites like Ancestry and 23andMe. They don't know exactly which one it was, but it has a lot of people wondering what exactly you give up when you spit and send your DNA to those sites. It's something to think about. America, we'll talk more about that another night. But my next guest is retired Exeter, California Police Sergeant Farrell Ward. He worked side by side along the alleged serial killer for 3 years. Farrell, welcome. Good to have you here tonight, sir. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
I just can't even imagine. I read about how you spent a lot of time side by side. You never suspected him of anything like this. What was it like when you saw his picture and realized how close you had been to him all those years.
I was devastated. I just couldn't believe that one of our guys could do something like that.
Tell me what he was like, what he is like.
Pardon me?
Tell me what he's like and what he was like then that led you to not suspect anything at all.
Well, he's a nice guy, but he's just off kind of by himself. Like he was educated person, but he didn't have no common sense. He didn't like to joke around, play around, or anything. He just kind of standoffish type guy.
So you say that, you know, he was around you, he was in your house, around your family. What is it like when you hear about these murders and these rapes and you realize that it could have happened to any one of you?
Yes, very much could. I had him in my house. We drank tea. He's even had dinner with me, because when we work together, if the person lives out of town, then I usually invite him to my house, because my wife cooked every night, and I would have one of the guys come have dinner with me at nighttime. So I had my wife and my daughter there, and never thought for a moment that something like this would happen.
Is there anything looking back, Farrell, that you think about when you think about things that he said or did that maybe shed some light on what was going on?
There was nothing. I couldn't believe it when I saw him on TV, but there was no indication whatsoever that this guy had any dark side to him whatsoever.
And
he was just another policeman, just like any of the other guys.
During that period, did you talk about this killer that was on the loose with him?
Well, yeah, we talked about the killing in Visalia, where he killed the college professor. He tried to kidnap his 14-year-old daughter, and the father came into the room to help his daughter, and he was shot dead right there in front of his daughter.
And you talked to him about that crime at the time?
Yes.
And what was his reaction
not
to it?
just him, but he just didn't know who the sick guy was that would do something like that, just like the other policemen that we talked about, different things. And
this is the most important part of this video, that what I wanted to convey. So I want to play this part back. I want you to listen closely to what he says here.
yes.
And what was his reaction
Not
to
just
it?
him, but
She says, what was his reaction? And this was his answer.
he just didn't know who the sick guy was that would do something like that, just like...
You hear that? Just like everybody else. What a sick son of a bitch. That's why when I hear people talk like that, I don't buy it. You know, when I see people full of outrage for the family and talking this and talking that, I just don't buy it. My intuition won't allow it. And this is the reason why. So I'm going to play it one more time.
Yes.
And what was his reaction
not
to
just
it?
him, but he just didn't know who the sick guy was that would do something like that, just like the other policemen that we talked about, different things. And Visalia PD, they investigated it, the incident, and then the next week, Visalia Police Department put guys in different neighborhoods. The police officers dropped them off in different parts of the city. And that night, there was a policeman that found him in the backyard. And they teach us in our training to hold your flashlight away from your body.
Mm-hmm.
So he was holding out his flashlight, and this guy shot directly into his flashlight and just blew it all apart. And luckily that didn't kill the police officer. And this guy just jumped directly over the fence, 6-foot fence, and he disappeared. And at the time, I was a K-9. I was a K-9 officer. So basically, the police called me out to help search the residential area and the backyards. And we couldn't locate the guy anywhere. He was gone.
Oh my gosh, it's chilling. Farrell Ward, thank you very much, sir. Thanks for sharing your story.
And luckily, that didn't kill the police officer. And they teach us in our training to hold your flashlight away from your body. There was a policeman that found him in the backyard, and they teach us in our training to
thank
hold
you,
your
Amber.
flashlight.
So
Put guys in different neighborhoods.
what I was saying here,
Police
listen to this real
officers
quick.
dropped them off in different parts of the city. And that night, there was a policeman that found him in the backyard, and they teach us in our training to hold your flashlight away from your body.
Okay, so he's actually giving you a good piece of information. So what I was saying, and I didn't thank you for telling me, Amber. I was trying to explain that if you're ever in a home invasion situation or an intruder, and all the lights are off or the power's been cut, and you're walking around with your flashlight, what you want to do is you want to hold it away from your body. Because what's going to happen if anybody's looking to slice or swipe a knife towards you, they're going to swipe near the light, or they're going to shoot expecting that flashlight to be somewhere near your chest or your shoulder area. So if you hold it out away from your body and maybe up, they'll think you're actually about 2 to 3 feet, away from where you actually are. So that's what he's trying to explain.
So he was holding out his flashlight, and this guy shot directly into his flashlight and just blew it all apart. And luckily, that
What a
didn't
good
kill the
shot.
police officer.
That's scary.
This guy just jumped directly over the fence, 6-foot fence, and he disappeared. And at the time, I was a K-9. I was a K-9 officer. So basically, the police called me.
Yeah, so I just wanted to replay that part. But what I was really leading into was this here. Now I want to get into this theory about potential profile of the bridge guy. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. Don't need any sound, it's just images. So let's jump right in. Okay, now what you're looking at here. Now I put out this image right here. Now I really kept this image because of how well it showed his eye. You can kind of see how blue it is right here, or gray. It's really a gray eye. And you can see his ear. Here, let's blow this up while we talk about it. So you can see the ear and his nice eye. It looks kind of grayish, and then you can see the camo. It's almost digital camo. See it here? And then the brim kind of comes out right here. But you can see it's like a digital camo hat with some type of patch here. So I thought that was interesting. And if I was able to pick up these good pixels here, I kind of started looking to see what else I possibly could pick up. and I was able to pick this up. Now, the first thing I thought was Delphi, because Delphi is kind of in the shape of the Indiana state border. But then I realized that the majority of this right here was shine from something sticking out here, along with this, and along with this. And then it blurred this direction. So what was really there was possibly this here. Let me remove this comment real quick so you guys can see this portion. Zoom in on the Logan's port. So it's a little bit difficult to kind of see in this image, but I knew it was a patch. That much I knew. But if you look in this image here, it kind of has more of this shape. What's up, Bruiser? Hey, man, if you want to call in, let me know. I'll send you that link. I just got to go over one more case, then I'm going to open it up. But I got messages not only on my YouTube channel, but I also got 3 separate messages from people from Logansport saying that the jacket here may actually be black. Somebody who was a photographer told me that what we're seeing could be caused by the certain camera, the certain lighting, the way it was blown up, the way it was captured, the way the light was hitting it, so on and so forth. Oh God. See, I actually thought this was the real like Sean Harmon. So let me go ahead and get rid of this guy too. Real Sean Harmon is welcome. I want everybody to know that. We're not going to exclude anybody as long as you can mind your manners. Everything's good to go. So I got messages saying, hey, what you're possibly looking at are the police jackets worn in Logansport. Now, this one actually looks brown, but it's not. It's black. So I wanted to show this image for somebody to come out and say, hey, well, look, that one's brown. Well, it's not. His whole uniform is black. But the way the photo was taken and then the way that I copied the photo, it looks extremely brown. But if you notice the sleeve here, it's a lot blacker. So what these people have been telling me is that what we're seeing here is a jacket that's zipped up to about here, opened here, something sticking out here, but right here are huge collars worn by Logansport police. You can kind of get an idea of how big they are here. Apparently, if it's to cover your face when it's cold. You can zip it all the way up. So if anybody can do any image work to try to figure out if there's a patch on this side of the arm, that would be great, because all the jackets that I found have patches on both sides. So what that led me to believe is that we may be dealing with an older person. We may be dealing with somebody in their 40s to late 50s, possibly. And this image here just appears to be young. But truthfully, I believe this white area here is part of a goatee. See, you have the cheek that sticks out, real tall cheekbones. You have an indentation right where the nostril would be. Very defined cheeks here. Large cheekbones with some type of crease here as it comes down. And then a gray, short trimmed goatee here is what I'm thinking. You can't really see it here because this is too blurry. This one came out pretty good. It gives us the cheek that we're looking for. Not much, you know, of the fade after it wraps around that upper cheek. That could be anything. What I think this is a gray goatee. Some of it you can see here. This is all shadow. The most important thing is this high cheekbone and this part of the ear. Not so much this part, because it looks pretty blurry. But if you see where the ear sticks out right here, it's clear as day. Now, it also hits where the brim of the hat, if you zoom out, you can see that that's the hat there. See, this is his hat. It's the brim of the hat sticking out. And it may be pushing down on the ear. And then you can see the hair coming out here. So we're looking for somebody who has these types of ears. Somewhat large. These may be the features, but he could be older. So if you know anybody out of Logansport who was a former law enforcement or current law enforcement in their late 40s, maybe even the late 50s, you know, possibly retirement age, who may be passing through Logansport, it's just as far away from Delphi as Lafayette, but we never bring it up. I never even thought of it, to be honest, until I started getting messages about it. So I'm going to go to your comments, just kind of get an idea of what you guys are talking about. Yep, exactly. Yeah, his jacket actually might be black. We have to consider that. I don't think that's Sean. Either way, he got the boot. Because if you had an old cop jacket, you know, maybe it's an older one or you're retired, you're not going to have the badge here. But the one thing I notice is they have these pockets here. They're very large. And I also noticed this here. Everybody says, oh, he's carrying a bag, he has something here, but it's very possible he just has a very large pocket filled. And that is the same pocket. Basically, this whole area right here, you can kind of see the top of it. It's a large pocket. Yeah, that's how I know that it exists, Lynn. Because there's no light there. But there is light right here. This looks like a fold. And if this is a fold, that means this part might be sticking up, and this part also might be sticking up, catching just a tiny bit of light right across the surface. So all the light you see here hitting this might just be sticking out just as far as this, and it's just barely catching it. So you have to consider those things. Yeah, pay close attention to the right side of his face here. Very defined cheekbone. And then it kind of dips down into a muscular, kind of where a cheek might go over the teeth area, facial muscles, but right here is important. See, this looks like it could be a slim person, but what we don't know is what's going on back here. This could be a double chin, giving an older person's appearance. So that's what we're missing. So what we're looking for, almost as if this is the younger version of the person we're looking for, because all we're really catching is his features, clear skin, you know, no blemishes. But the most important thing is look at this cheekbone. So it's very sharp here, and it has an indentation right here. Muscular feature here, most likely more prominent as a younger person, and possibly even some double chin kind of going on back here. Gray colored goatee. In my opinion, I could be wrong. That's just where I'm at right now. So let's see here. Hell yeah. Bruiser, let me send you the link. Maybe you can join me for the end of the show, and then we'll get into some Delphi discussion. I have one more segment. We're going to get into a case, and maybe you can jump on and talk with me about it and kind of give a reaction to it. So let me just follow up with everybody, see what they're talking about. Oh, yeah. He knows he's welcome here, but he doesn't want to hang out with anybody like me. He knows that I'll demand to ask the questions and that he'll have to answer those questions. He doesn't want that. And I never said his father wasn't the killer. Just for the record, I would never say that. You know, there's a part of me when I'm doing my image analysis that I want to see his father. You know, I want his father to pop out. But that hasn't happened yet. He doesn't realize I'm working for him, because if he is right, then I'll help to prove that. Nope, I'm going to send you the link right now, buddy. All right, Bruiser, I'm going to send you an email. Damn, this StreamYard sucks up everything. All right, buddy, I sent it. Let's see here. Oh, I have some images on that. If you want to take a look, let's see here. I would have to locate them. But I have some close-ups on the patch. But it's just not clear exactly what it is. It almost looks like one of those old school Air Force or Top Gun patches. You know what I'm talking about? It's got the star and then the bars coming off the side. So let me pull this up, stop sharing my screen. If you guys want to see that again at the end of the show, you let me know. I'd be happy to bring it up. It's very interesting. I never considered Logansport, even though I believe it's even a shorter distance. I mean, you could drive to Delphi and back and not, you know, on your lunch break. Nobody would even know. Yeah, I don't hold any information. I don't try to act like I'm better than anybody. I don't try to act like the information that I have I can't be shared, because if we're not sharing information and ideas, like you're not doing this for the right reason, you know? Okay, let's stop sharing. Oh, alrighty. So I think somebody just jumped into the studio. I think it's Bruiser. Let's take a look. Bruiser, you ready? What's up?
How you doing, sir?
Hey, well, you are live. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I caught your show earlier, and you said you're going to be hanging out doing some Delphi stuff.
Yeah, I was just kind of looking through some of the new YouTubers, and yeah, I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah, me too. It's like I call them the crew or gang.
Okay.
You know,
But hey, go ahead.
Because technically I'm right there with them. You know, I'm pretty new, 5 months. That's kind of new.
Yeah. But I will say this: you said that you would like to help Sean Harmon prove that his father is the Delphi killer if he is.
Correct.
And I'm sorry, I firmly disagree. I find this guy to be an attention whore, and now that he's saying that he wants the reward money, I can't get with it. And he argues with anybody and everybody that doesn't see things his way. And listen, if you're going to follow this case, you have to you have to take everything into consideration. And if you're going to be the type of guy that says, no, if you don't agree with me, then you're wrong, then I can't get with you. I just can't.
Well, it also is kind of the actions of somebody who really believes what they're saying. And I'm not saying he doesn't believe what he's saying, but just because you believe something wholeheartedly does not make it true. I'm just going to say that out loud.
Right. Well, and I do believe that his father must have treated him horribly as a child. And I think that's what really a lot of this stems from, is that, he's got it out for his dad. Now, I have no idea why he's accusing his son, but it's odd. I'll just say that. I mean, we don't know that two people were involved in the Delphi murders, and Sean has gone to call his dad the murderer of several different cases that have been unsolved, and he wants to tell you that he has all this evidence, and he sent it to me, and I looked through all of it, and it was all hogwash.
It was
all hogwash.
It was echo chamber internet stuff.
Yep, that's what it was.
But that doesn't mean that his dad's not the bridge guy.
No, it doesn't. But it does mean that he needs to approach it differently, so people will, will agree, not necessarily agree with him, but see where he's coming from. Because as it seems right now, it's just that he's pissed off at his dad and his son, and he wants the reward money. And the guy out there right now calling himself Sean Harmon's son, I saw him do a video, which I assumed was going to be like a comedy video, but it wasn't. He was really talking about the Delphi case. And if he wants to do that, I would highly recommend changing his handle, changing his name. If
He's welcome here when he does so. Because what he did was he came in as a troll. And then he realized, hey, maybe I do have something I want to say, and maybe I'm not a troll. And it's not too late to change that. but you can't keep
No.
that name and come around here. That's for sure. It's just disrespectful to the girls, to be honest.
And to those of us that are really trying to help the case. I mean, you know, like I said, I'm not trying to dog on the dude. Maybe he's got.
He's
some good
probably
points.
cool. He seems young, so
Yeah, yeah. That's just my advice to him. If he wants to be taken seriously, please, for the love of God, change your name.
yeah, he'll be welcome back here. Do you see my like my hoodie?
Oh, that's pretty badass. Yeah.
Yeah, you know who that guy is? You know that guy?
Hey, great minds think alike, right?
I might have to get me one of those flying monkey shirts.
Yeah. We take a negative and turn it into a positive.
Yeah,
That's what
all
we do.
day. Well, you want to help me kind of present this next case?
Sure.
Okay. Now, this is Carlie, Brucia. Now, I found a ton of similarities with this case in Delphi. So at any point, if anybody wants me to stop, Bruiser, you want to just kind of stop and focus on a certain area, I have
Okay.
about 3 different videos on the case. So I mean, we're gonna kind of do a little bit of a dive into it. Not too deep, but at any point you let me know here.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, this one kind of begins with some details on the case.
This week, a little Sarasota girl was abducted at a car wash, sparking a search that captured the attention of the entire country. Surveillance video caught the moment that 11-year-old Carlie Brucia was grabbed by a stranger, and after a massive manhunt, it was discovered that she had been raped and murdered. The community is now looking back and preparing to remember her. News Channel 8's John Rogers is joining us from Sarasota County tonight with more on this, which was a very big story at the time. So heartbreaking the way it all turned out. It's hard to believe 10 years has passed.
It certainly is hard to believe, Keith, and it certainly was a huge story. I mean, let me count the ways. The FBI sent agents down here to help out the sheriff's office in this investigation. NASA helped out in trying to enhance the surveillance video. And once the body was discovered, an executive order came down from the White House closing off the airspace above the church so news choppers couldn't fly over. I spoke today with a detective who worked that case 10 years ago, and he says that case still haunts him. It was the evening of February 1st, 2004. It was Super Bowl Sunday, and 11-year-old Carlie Brucia was taking a shortcut back home from a friend's house when she passed behind a car wash and was never heard from again.
And it captured the actual moment of the abduction.
The video and the ensuing search captivated the nation. Captain Jeff Bell was a lieutenant at the time.
We definitely felt the pressure of the obligation that we had on our shoulders. Ultimately, what we were trying to do is get her home alive.
Sadly, that never happened. Her body was found behind a church a few days later. She had been raped and murdered. Joseph Smith was later charged and is now on death row. The story certainly did not end the way Bell had wanted, but at least they were able to find the killer.
There's no doubt in my mind that the video was the key.
Captain Bell says since then, more and more businesses have been using surveillance cameras, and newer technology has led to improved image enhancement.
A lot of times, either computer or digital imagery has become, an important part of investigations.
10 years later,
Oh,
Bell
yeah?
says the Carlie Brucia case was one of the most significant of his career, and he hopes the community learns a lesson from this tragedy.
More so than having to deal with it again, I would tell you that my hope is that we're aware of it enough that it'll never happen again here.
The The 10-year anniversary is actually February 1st, this Saturday, and there'll be a special candlelight memorial service in honor of her over at the Central Church of Christ on Proctor Road. It was actually behind that church that her body was found a few days after her disappearance. There's going to be a candlelight memorial service at 6:30 this Saturday night, and the public is invited to attend. Reporting in Sarasota County, John Rogers, News Channel 8.
What do you think, Bruiser?
That's from 10 years ago?
Yeah, what did you, anything you caught there? Any similarities with the case?
Yeah, well, I mean, the fact that she was found the day after,
Okay.
that's that's one thing. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that I've never heard about this case.
It's pretty old.
Yeah.
I think it's older than 10 years. I think it's
Okay.
actually I think it's 10 years from that video. I think it's from 2004, actually.
Why don't you tell me the similarities?
Well, let me play this video from the beginning.
I believe 10 years ago this week, a little Sarasota girl was abducted at a car wash, sparking a search that captured the attention of the entire country. Surveillance video caught the moment that 11-year-old Carlie Brucia was grabbed by a stranger, and after a massive manhunt, it was discovered that she had been raped and murdered. The community is now looking back and preparing to remember her. News Channel 8's John Rogers is joining us from Sarasota County tonight with more on this, which was a very big story at the time. So heartbreaking the way it all turned out. It's hard to believe 10 years has passed.
It certainly is hard to believe, Keith, and it certainly was a huge story. I mean, let me count the ways. The FBI sent agents down here to help out the sheriff's office in this investigation.
Did you hear that?
Yep, that's unusual.
So that's one. Listen to his next statement.
Investigation. NASA helped out in trying to enhance the surveillance video.
Did you hear that?
Yep, there's two.
So those are the two that stuck out to me the most. And then also,
and once the body was discovered, an executive.
And you guessed the other one.
I found it odd that the White House, the White House prevented helicopters from flying over the crime scene.
Yeah, and that didn't happen in our case. But I think they did go back and edit the RTV6 chopper footage, and I think they edited out the crime scene. They tried to anyway. I mean, it's still there for people that have the ability, the digital ability to find it, but idiots that seek to won't be able to find it anyway. But check this part out.
Definitely felt the pressure.
Did you hear that?
Could you repeat it?
Yeah, I'm going to play it from here, right here where he snatches her. And also, this looks like the bridge.
A shortcut back home from a friend's house.
Taking a shortcut.
She passed behind a car wash.
There's Libby and Abby.
Was never heard from again.
And it captured the
There's the
actual
bridge
moment
guy.
of the abduction.
The video and the ensuing search captivated the nation. Captain Jeff Bell.
Now listen to what he says.
We definitely felt the pressure of the obligation that we had on our shoulders.
Yeah. So that's her there with her abductor.
Mm-hmm. And I have another video here of just that footage, the actual full tape. And I'm going to play that for you guys now. And it just looks like Bridge Guy to me. It looks like what may have happened.
Well, it obviously looks like something the bridge guy did.
Mm-hmm. I mean, who knows what he told him? When I was reading the articles about this case, apparently he used some kind of ruse. I couldn't get the details on it, but he kind of said something to him, possibly. I'll do a follow-up on this case because it's actually pretty interesting, and I just kind of want to see how it goes. But here's the actual security footage, kind of like Libby's footage of Bridge Guy. That's what this reminds me of. Let's go full screen on this. Look at that. Says something to him, like, you got to come with me right away. Just trust me. She's like, okay.
And a lot of people think that the Delphi murders were a ruse.
Yeah, the reason I haven't put out an actual video in a while is because that's what I'm working on right now, is that Louisiana Logansport. It's a video titled The Ruse. So I think it's going to be pretty good. If I'm happy with it, I'll release it. If not, because sometimes the more investigation you do, the further it leads you away, and that's a good thing too.
Look how he grabs her hand, as if you need to come with me.
What's in his pocket though? It's all about the pockets. Look at this. Like, hand in the pocket right when he gets up to her. Does he put something back in his pocket or does he grab it? It almost looks like he grabs a knife. See, he grabs something out of his pocket.
Hmm.
And he has it in his hand.
Where does this take place?
I can't remember at the moment. I have another video that I do want to play. I'm gonna do a follow-up on this.
Okay.
I actually stumbled upon this earlier today, and I was like, how have I not seen this case before? I mean, I thought I was looking at the Delphi murders, the urban version. Like, they're in the back of some car wash. This is an 11-year-old girl taking a shortcut home from her friend's house just up the street.
I wonder how many murders out there are similar to this and similar to Delphi. And I don't want to go as far as to say that this man is Bridge Guy.
No, he's in prison. He's been in prison for a long time. He
Right.
actually died. He died in police custody, and he was sentenced to death and everything.
Okay.
This is definitely not Bridge Guy. It's just the type of person we're looking for. This might give us more of a sneak peek into what actually happened on the bridge, is what I'm saying.
Right. I agree. It's just amazing to me that there are people in this world that will walk up to a complete stranger kid and use a ruse to kill them. I mean, that's just beyond my understanding. I mean, it's a scary world out there, and this girl, as somebody said in your comments, appears to go with him at first. Like, okay, yeah, I'll come with you.
Yeah, he tricked her.
He talked to her for a minute, and then he says something. Then you're right. He does something with his hand, and he says, "Come on."
Almost like it's an emergency. Let's go.
Yeah.
And he never says. I don't think he ever said exactly what. I'm still trying to figure it out, because the reason I found it was I was looking up cases where offenders were using ruses to perpetrate their attacks, and he popped up, and there was this huge article. But then when I went into all the media archives, yeah, they didn't talk about the ruse. So I'm going to look into it further, and I'll definitely do a follow-up. This video right here, and we could replay any of these, but this is his brother who actually testified against him.
Good for him.
So let's take a look here. And he was, of course, much, much younger at the time.
Thing that I messed up with in that Brucia trial was which truck I was driving. Remember, I was petrified to go to testimony, to trial. I had been up for days on drugs. And for some reason, I said, I don't forget who we were to Bruce, said, what vehicle were you driving? I had two trucks. I said the other truck, and I said, whoa, I mean the Escalade. I caught myself. That's the only thing that could. And then after he started badgering me, I that's when I got really aggressive. I was like, you know, he choked her today. He told me he choked her. I don't know if you remember, but yeah, it was tough. And just like when I went in the bathroom every time, you know, I was smoking crack. I'm nodding out while I'm testifying. The judge told me take a break. They didn't know what I was doing. They escorted me to the bathroom.
Did you hear that?
He was smoking crack and
Well, not
passing.
only not only the judge, but the bailiffs were allowing him to go into the bathroom and smoke crack.
What the fuck?
Yeah, here, watch. Let me start this a little bit further back.
Told me take a break. They didn't know what I was doing. They escorted me to the bathroom. They actually stood outside the door. Let me smoke crack. One time they came in, he's like, Jesus Christ, are you done yet? You know? But when I came back in, I didn't lie about being on drugs, because whether I did drugs or not did not change what he told me and what he did. Yeah. Whether I drove a green truck, a blue truck, yellow truck, he told me that he strangled her. You know, that was what he told me when they put me together in that little jail cell, that little meeting there. And the reason why, when I came out, they said, "What? You know, what did he say? What did he say?" I said, "He said nothing, because he told me that he tied her up." And I thought I'd just drive over there, let her go, do it like that. But after that, he started sending me letters and so forth, and, you know, in his own admission, and it's, you know, he choked her to death.
Damn.
That's messed up. I mean, you know, the defense would use that, you know, in their defense, that we
It's a
have
mistrial.
yeah, right, yeah, a mistrial, and you know, we've got a drug addict that can't be trusted, you know, because they're a drug addict, which isn't necessarily true. But for the bailiffs to allow him to smoke crack in the bathrooms, you're right. That's grounds for a mistrial, because you can't be under the influence when you take the stand. You know.
Yeah, he said he was literally falling asleep during his testimony, and the judge was like, "Oh, break time. This guy's got to go smoke some more crack."
But who the hell falls asleep smoking crack? That's the other thing I want to know. I mean,
That sounds more like heroin to me.
Right? Yeah, that sounds more like heroin. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a very peculiar case, and it makes you wonder if there are people in this world like Bridge Guy that have seen cases like this and thought, well, if I went about it this way, I would get away with it. This guy made a mistake, and I'll just I'll just do it differently, and I'll get away with it. Maybe.
What if they weren't thinking? What if they were just so possessed by that urge that they were just like,
that's
I
the
mean,
other
what
part too.
else? What else would cause him to think that he could abduct somebody? Maybe 2004, maybe surveillance wasn't that, you know, that well expected, I guess, so to speak. I'm not sure, because in
Well,
today's world, you expect cameras everywhere.
right. Well, you look at BTK. I mean, he's a perfect example of someone that couldn't control themselves. That would go, what, 11 years
No,
between schools?
he did at the end. He did control himself. Not really control himself, but what he did was he kind of made his wife do a bunch of weird sexual stuff to kind of fill those voids for a while.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is that he taunted the police. There were, you know, times between kills, and I think it was 11 years.
Yeah.
You know, so uh, some of these guys can just hold off and hold the urge for a long time,
But
but
not forever.
but not forever.
Mhm.
Eventually, that urge is going to come back.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's what will happen with Bridge Guy. I said that earlier tonight, that, you know, he may have gotten away with this for now, but he's not going to be able to control himself, and he's going to do this again.
And the reason we know that, is because somebody who would do that type of murder is the same kind of person who can't control themselves
Right.
forever.
Right.
That's how we know it. It's almost a fact.
Well, if you look at the history of other types of killers, I mean, it's what
Well,
they
not
do.
even that. Just the psychology behind somebody that would risk it all, risk their entire family for an urge, to kill these two girls. We know by that action, it's almost 100% fact that this guy cannot control himself. We almost know that without a reason. There's no doubt in my mind because of the actual crime itself tells me so.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it does. Uh, you've brought up a good point about these murders happening during the daytime. That says a lot. It really does. Because, most crimes are committed at nighttime because they want to get away with it. If you look at, gang violence or violence in Chicago, but not serial killers. They do it. I mean, you look at BTK. He did it during the day. And
He had a ruse.
And he had a ruse. That's true.
Yeah.
He'll
Usually during the day, there's a ruse involved.
I'm just hoping they catch this guy. After so long, it's and I said this earlier. I appreciate all you new YouTubers put new eyes on this, and hopefully, one of your videos will spark something in someone to get this guy caught. But after watching this for so long, it's like, damn. Can we please get on with this and catch this guy?
Well, another thing that I've been kind of thinking about, studying all these different cases, is that, to be honest, in the whole scheme of things, it's only been like a week.
What do you mean by that?
When you really put everything into perspective, when they typically catch a killer with this type of evidence, hardly anything to go on, something this brutal and somebody this unidentified, even though we have the evidence that we have, in the whole scheme of things, typically you're looking at a cold case being solved 20, 30 years down the road, even sometimes, if you're lucky, 10. So this is, to be honest, we're only in week 1. So we're still fresh. So I don't want everybody to panic. Like, to be honest, 5 years is not that long. I can wait another 5 to get this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just that from those of us that have watched it the night that it occurred until now, it seems like a long time. But you're right. There are cases that go 25 years without being solved. We just talked about one that was 10 years old, and hell, the one I showed I showed a video tonight. If you haven't checked it out, it's the Delphi investigation did help solve a murder.
Yeah, I watched that whole show. I was just putting this one together while I was watching it.
Yeah, were you aware of that?
Yeah, I was, and I find it spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show you that no matter how insignificant you may think your tip is, it may tip in something else just to solve a case. And
well, one of the cases we talked about today was the Joseph James D'Angelo, the serial killer who was the cop. I mean, he went 30 years before he was busted.
And I think that's because he had knowledge of how cops investigate crimes. I think
and we might be dealing with somebody like that. Also, think about it. If a police officer was involved, let's say a police officer from Logansport came and perpetrated a murder. stalking everything, planned it out, and just basically used his radio and his knowledge of the codes and everything to know exactly where officers were at the time.
Yeah, and it's sad to say this, but it's true. Okay,
Hmm.
that cops are quick to kill people, even in the line of duty. And if they're a psychopath, that I don't think that. I mean, I'm just going to keep it real with you. Even in the line of duty, they're quick to shoot somebody. So could you imagine if a cop was a psychopath? Uh, he would have no problem taking a life like that. You know, he wouldn't, just because uh, they're trained to take life. And if he's given the okay to kill people, then maybe he would use that for bad, for his own gratification. And I'm not saying we should defund the
Some
police
super
or
lag. Okay, there we are. We're back.
okay.
Oh, that was weird. Might have been my security cameras. I have two that are connected to my router.
Oh, no worries. But like I was saying is that if it is a cop, cops don't have a problem taking someone's life. They don't. I mean, and I'm not trying to equate Black Lives Matter and Jacob Blake and uh, all that. But what I'm saying is,
It's almost
cops.
their job to
It's almost
potentially do that. To
right,
almost to potentially do that.
right. And if they're a psychopath, they'll just say, they'll just think in their head, just another life I'm taking, no big whoop.
Justified.
Justified. And I think that the things that you've shown on your well, I don't want to use the word enhancements. I hate that fucking word.
Yeah, it's because it's not enhanced. It's just kind of like discovered within.
Right. And other YouTubers have used the word enhanced. And I don't believe you can enhance an enhancement. But what I believe you can do is you can look at a picture and zoom in on it and look at like you showed me the what was the NASA and them, you know, enhancing the photos. And basically, what they did was fill in the background. That's what it looked like to me. I don't know if that's
Mhm.
how it looked like to you, but they just kind of gave a, a background. What was there behind Bridge Guy, and I don't know how much that helped.
Well, like that one video where they said that they sent the video over to NASA for enhancements, and analysis and things like that.
Yeah.
Well, the strange things with Delphi is that not only did they send it to NASA, they also sent it to Disney. So those are two different purposes. NASA would be there to unveil, and then Disney would be there to create some type of animation on top of what was unveiled. Um, that's another discovery that I have. So you can actually debunk this or prove it by going onto the government, the Indiana.gov website dedicated to the Delphi murders. They have one version that you can download. And I think it's a Windows version file, and that's the one that everybody sees on the news. That's who we know as Bridge Guy. That's the motion video we all know. But there's two other videos that you can watch that I just went ahead and screen recorded and then analyze those as well. And they are completely different than the one that you can download.
And that's one you showed me, correct?
Yes, that is the
Right.
one that I showed you.
Yeah.
There's a big difference, right?
For sure. I mean, a total difference. And why? I'm not sure why those were shown. I'm not sure.
I just don't think that they expected this case to be so popular and to have like an armchair sleuth like me actually take the time to do that kind of stuff. Because I mean, as much as these other people on YouTube are talking about image analysis, they're really not doing anything. If you watch what they do, they're not really doing anything. They're not understanding the image. They're not taking the time to learn from the image. They're just messing with the image and then claiming to see stuff without understanding the way that the image has completely been dissected by motion, pixelation, and two different motions simultaneously. They're just taking all that blur and all that confusion and they're doing pareidolia from it. And I don't critique anybody. I don't call anybody out by name. I'm just they know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, they do.
And I'm hopefully that they're so egotistical that they won't take the time to learn from somebody. I mean, I've spent a lot of time trying to understand, not see. Not understand with my eyes, but understand with my mind, how things might what might be happening. You have two people moving, you have pixelation, you have a small image, and you also have shutters going on and off. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I took all that into consideration and realized it's just this huge puzzle that a lot of the pieces have just been kind of scattered about. And you just got to kind of find those pieces and kind of start putting them together. They've been separated by motion. They've been separated by shutter speed, things like that. Nobody else is even talking about that. Yet they want to talk about something that appears to be a nose that is actually like part of his chin that just happened to move up where the nose might be expected. They're not thinking about any of that stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I like I said, once I took a thorough look at the photos and the video, my opinion changed quite a bit. Because I didn't do what others did and try to enhance. I tried to look at them as they are, and I'm just still I'm confused. I'm just so confused by this case. Even Robert Ives had said that, they expected this case to be solved relatively quickly due to all the evidence that was left at the crime scene, due to the nature of the crimes, due to a lot of things, and it wasn't. And I don't want to judge the cops too much, but damn, this case here left so much evidence. We have audio, we have video, we have crime scene, we have cause of death, we have all these things that you would think a normal investigation would solve relatively quickly. And it wasn't. And it wasn't.
Well, I think the problem is that video was actually I think it did more harm than it did good.
The same as the sketches.
Well, I think the sketches came mainly from that video. I mean, imagine the early people on the Delphi case, the armchair sleuths, such as myself, who were on the case. Remember, they were doing sketches and they were doing their kind of giving their own renditions and their own ideas of what we saw. And it was a guy with a huge nose and a large beard, you know.
And
But
that's why Daniel Nations was the very first person of interest, is because he resembled so much the first sketch when he had absolutely nothing to do with it. I learned my lesson there. Like I said, I'm not saying Daniel Nations is a good guy by any means, but only because he resembled the first sketch was he looked at as a person of interest.
wow, I just got the craziest photo.
A good one?
Yeah. Well, we'll have to talk about that later.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, I'll send that to you privately.
Okay.
But yeah, and Daniel Nations by no means was he cleared, right?
Right. No, he was not clear, but I did hear Doug Carter say we don't have any interest in speaking to him any further.
And he also had a video where Kim Riley said that they were going to use they obviously have DNA that can be used to include or exclude certain people. And this is the only reason I ever mentioned family is because of what Kim Riley said. He's like, he acts like he doesn't have a whole lot of DNA, but what he does have, he can exclude certain people. So it's like he said it on camera that he was going to go down there to Colorado and that he had DNA that would give him the answers that he needed. So I'm not sure what that means. To me, that's what it says. It says that this DNA will not pinpoint who it is, but it may uh kind of close the gates on the group of people that it possibly could be if it was um some type of relation DNA, so to speak.
Well, if you remember early on in the case, I want to say
What is it? Mitochondrial
no,
DNA?
this was Tobe Lesenby giving an interview talking about DNA, and he didn't specify if it was Abby's DNA or Libby's DNA or the killer's DNA. But later in the interview, it was a news article, a paper, newspaper interview, and they had a forensic DNA expert say that in a case like this, the results would come back in 2 to 4 weeks. And that was early on. I want to say within 2 weeks, a month of the murders,
Mm-hmm.
and then nothing. So I understand what you're saying about DNA excluding people, and maybe
There it
that's
is.
maybe that's what he meant by that. But just to say, I don't know. Maybe that's one of those things that they should have just kept to themselves because they haven't released the cause of death. They haven't released a bunch of things. So why release that?
And what if they're just running around like some chickens with their heads cut off? Because if you look at that recent video of Tobe Lesenby, and he's in there talking to those, I think what is it, county officials, and they're discussing on whether or not they should fund an outside party coming in, and Tobe isn't with it. He's like, no, he was against it. Why would you be against that? I mean, I understand, hey, you guys have been doing it for this long and you're already vested. Why would you be against something like that, especially if they're offering to fund it for you? I mean, I don't understand.
Well, it could be, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here,
Mhm.
that cops have a bad ego, and
Mhm.
they don't want anybody stepping on their toes, ruining their case, going after the wrong man,
Or breaking their case.
or breaking their case and getting it right. I mean, that's my only thought though, as to why he would do that. Because yeah, you're right. Why not get all the help you can get? Um, I I don't know that any private investigators, like true private investigators, have taken part in this, but I don't see how it could hurt.
See, now if somebody was going to donate or if we were all going to get together, that might be something we might want to get together as a group to do. Get some type of badass investigator on some like 8 millimeter shit and get somebody involved and somebody who's going to do that journalism and the investigation, hands on, boots on the ground type of situation. Wonder how much something like that would cost. I'm thinking what, like 15 grand at least.
Minimum, yeah, minimum. uh, but you got to make sure you get the right guy, to do that type of work because I believe that there would be many private investigators out there claiming to be qualified that perhaps weren't, and they would need to be properly vetted before a group, the Delphi murder community, would come together and donate their money to hire someone. because I like I said, I've always said this: the more eyes on it, the better. And we don't have enough eyes on it right now, apparently.
Well, where I'm trying to go with this is I think all the answers are in the underbelly. You know, under what law enforcement's hearing, under what the family's hearing, under what any of those people even have at arm's reach. I'm talking about the criminal underbelly of that town. If somebody could get involved in that group, and once they're comfortable enough, simply ask, "Can I see the video of the girls being murdered?" Because
Yeah,
word is that that's something that exists.
yeah. I've not heard that or seen that, but boy, I'd love to see it.
Yep.
I'd love to
Because
see it.
um, yeah, I'm still just a little bit shaken up by that photo I just got. um, yeah, I can't wait to show that to you.
Why isn't it something you want to show us now?
It's a person.
Oh, okay. Yep. Good on you then.
Yeah.
Good on you. I just I've always been against people naming people. If you have a legitimate suspect, let the police do their job. I mean, it's not your job to run their name all over Facebook and all over YouTube. And Greeno and I talked the other night about some of the terrible things that have happened regarding the Delphi case, like the leaker thing. That was the most ridiculous bunch of bullshit that I I I
Well,
have
what's
no idea.
worse, those guys doing that or people paying attention to it? I didn't pay any attention to that shit.
I only paid attention to it because True Crime Jesus looked into it, and I trust his judgment. And he pretty much outed who it was that did it. And you're right. Don't just like these YouTubers out there making videos that Harvey Carroll's the Delphi killer and True Crime Jesus is a Delphi killer.
Oh, that's Derek Godsey.
Yeah, and you'll notice that not one of his videos has any views, and that goes to all the Delphi community out there. Good on you, bravo on you for not giving that shit the time of day.
But it's not designed for them. It's designed for the newcomers that come searching and they see these things and they see real Chill Graz killed Abby and Libby. And they go, "What the hell? Who's real Chill Graz?" And they go look and it's this famous YouTuber or this YouTuber that's popular right now. And they're like, "What the hell's going on?"
Yeah,
And
but I
that's what
think
it's
that
designed to do. It's designed for when newcomers come on and they look it up, Delphi, they type in Delphi, and they see Harvey Carroll, is accusing, like, True Crime Jesus and accusing all these people. He's just trying to hurt people by using these newcomers.
well, yeah, I'll give you that, but if even when I was a newbie on YouTube, I didn't look at videos that had 0 views and 1 views. I looked for videos that had 100 views, 1,000 views that, that a lot of people watched. Uh, so you're right. It's made out of malice. It's made for malice, and it's made to confuse people. But I'm just glad to see that some of the people in here in your live stream right now, the they haven't given it a you know a look. And like Carol says here, the videos are so easily identifiable because they're the same
Mhm.
video over and over again. And I had said this the other night. If there's one YouTuber out there that does not deserve to be accused of being Bridge Guy and does not deserve to have his children and home address posted on YouTube, it's True Crime Jesus. He's done nothing but try to help. and I'm sure that some of his videos maybe have upset some people, but that no way means that his children need to be brought into this.
Wait, so somebody actually did that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the thing about true crime Jesus is the thing that he's trying to convey is that everybody needs to stop pity patting around family members, around certain people. Like, have some balls. Like, what are you afraid of? What are you going to do? Go sit down and have coffee with some of these people? No, these two girls were murdered. Get some cojones, you know? I think that's what he's trying to tell you is like, if you have an idea how you can help or you think something's suspicious, have the balls to say something about it. Who cares about what's going on? The fallout and what has happened to these girls outweighs anything, especially when we have no direction for this case. We have no leads. We have nobody. All we know is the people that's close to this. Now, I'm not saying don't go accusing people, but you definitely don't go around clearing them and saying that they're innocent. So the same way you
True.
don't accuse, you do not say they're innocent. So if you can find
Right.
yourself in the middle, that's where you want to be.
Well, any cop will tell you that, everyone's a suspect. Everyone. Uh, so, like I said, I just hate to see my friend uh, drugged through the ringer uh, because he's a Delphi YouTuber, and that's the only reason that that's happening.
Probably the best, not to
He is
mention.
the best Delphi YouTuber, probably next to me. I mean, I'm pretty fucking good.
It's a tie. It's a tie.
It's a I'm just
Between
kidding.
it's a three-way tie with the captain.
Yeah, the captain's a good one too. The captain's real cerebral, and what I like about those two, I'm quick to give you my opinion on things, and I'm more of a commentary. Those guys are cerebral and don't come right out and give you their opinion. They give you something to think about.
Mhm.
That's what I like about them.
That is true.
Somebody says that Garrett Kurtz is still at the top of the list. That's not unreasonable.
Not at all.
Not
Not
at
at
all.
all. He is at the top of the list.
Yeah, I would say he's up there.
Well,
Uh,
who was it? Hainish, who was catfished and murdered and
uh,
thrown in a freezer.
yes,
So
that's
those of you who think that the girls may have been catfished, well, there's an MO for you right there.
right. And his name's Ray Hanish. I know his sister very well. What a super nice lady. She's here on YouTube. Um, and that's why she came on YouTube. Was she saw that the Delphi case was getting attention, and she knew that Garrett Kurtz was from the area, and she knew that Garrett Kurtz had killed her brother, and she thought that maybe some of us could help. And there have been many YouTubers that have gone to court dates, that have gone, have gone to like fundraiser type things. Um, yeah, that's Ray Hanish was catfished, and he was
Mhm.
catfished by Garrett
Guaranteed.
Kurtz. Yep,
I agree.
Garrett Kurtz is a closet homosexual, um, and
Probably hates women. I would like to
well,
interview his mother.
well, he did have a girl with him the night that he killed Ray Hanish, and that could mean absolutely
Well,
nothing.
but Ashley Garth, I mean, you can see the way he let her just basically destroy his soul.
Yeah. You ever
You
see
don't
the
do that. You don't do that unless you have mother issues.
Right. Have you ever seen the fight that
Mhm. Yeah.
he was in? Gosh, talk about a pussy. My
Yeah, his
goodness.
arm he threw his arm out in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I
What
used
a
to beat
what a
people like that
badass.
up so quick, man. If you don't know how to box, don't fight.
No, don't fight. Yeah.
If you can wrestle, that's cool too.
Has Chris Mathis been caught? As far as I know, yeah. Yeah, Chris
Yeah, I
Mathis
thought they
is
got his ass.
yeah, they got him.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think because there's a lot of videos still out there about him where he's, like, on the run, and they haven't
Yeah,
updated
but
on
I did see a video of him in jail, uh, uh, proclaiming his innocent, how he was tricked into being a part of all that. So, yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know. Uh, that whole crew was nothing but meth heads. You know what I mean? And that really stems for the motive. You know what I mean? They are all
Well,
tweet.
yeah, because think about it. Put yourself into a mind of a tweaker. If you're let's say you're tweaking and for whatever reason you're alone, you would have time to, like, create a fake, account. You basically have time to catfish somebody for 48 hours straight.
Yep.
And sometimes I wonder if, and I have nothing, I don't have any ill will towards God. See, he's obviously not sane, or he's bitter about something. I don't know what it is, but I have a feeling that he may be in jail with a cell phone.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know the guy at all. I've never really had any issues with him. I think he's been part of my channel on several occasions, and he's always been cool with me. Uh, but I don't disagree with him, and I have a feeling that if you disagree with him, that's where he gets his fifis hurt.
Kind of like Sean Harmon.
Kind of like Sean Harmon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's never really done anything to me, so um but I don't like the stuff that he's doing with True Crime Jesus and Graz. So if you're out there, Derek, I just ask you to stop. Whatever your beef is with Harvey, that's something different. I can see how he could trigger that. Sometimes being disrespectful and things like that. But True Crime Jesus and Graz have done nothing but try to help people and try to further this case. So, if you need to continue your trolling, just exclude those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like I said, I don't know what the point of it is. Nobody's watching it, and uh yeah, I mean, and he spends a lot of time doing it.
And it's daily.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I just looked tonight and there were several, and I don't
Mhm.
remember if it was 20 or 30, uh, but a lot of time making these videos accusing people of being bridge guy that no one believes is bridge guy.
When else would you have time to do that? It would to me, I just see somebody that's like, "Man, I'm locked up for, the next 2 years or whatever for assault, or I got in a fight, or, multiple DUIs. I got this cell phone that somebody snuck in for me." And, all night I do these YouTube videos, and I, like, post them, and I, like, attack all the people that have ever questioned me.
See, I've heard different. I've heard different that he lives at home, and he doesn't have much going on.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true or not, but
'Cause, I mean,
yeah.
somebody who can perpetrate that level of trolling, I mean, they gotta have some kind of sophistication.
Right,
I
but
mean, this is on another level, man. Like, I've never seen anything like it,
me
ever.
neither. Me neither.
It's
Me
legendary as far as
Yeah.
trolls are concerned.
Well, I think that's part of it. I think
Yeah.
that's part of it is look how legendary he is that he's able, but what he did to Aaron LaFond, a 17-year-old kid accusing him being a murderer for over a year. I'm
Well,
just
he started
surprised.
the DP stuff. The whole DP thing came from him.
Yeah, but this was before that, and I'm just thinking that
No, this was
how
at the same time. He
oh,
was
it was.
working Yep, he was working on both of these things at the same time, and the DP thing didn't catch on till a little bit later.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
I just can't believe that the LaFond family didn't pursue legal charges against him.
There's still people that say, they message me and they're like, "Have you looked into the LaFonds?" I'm like, "What the fuck? Are you kidding me?"
Wow. Wow.
I have to
Yeah.
laugh.
And that's due to Derek, I think.
Yeah. Same with the whole DP thing when Derek came out with the fake Facebook thing. So I give him credit for that. He's probably sitting back laughing at all these people that are talking about DP. To him, that's only one of his creations. That's only one of his many things that he's done to corrupt the case. And I think he feels slighted.
Yeah, I mean, he feels something. And he's not the only one, guys. All right, I've been doing this now for 4 years, and there have been numerous, none to the degree of Derek, but numerous trolls that just go to people's channels and say the most horrendous things. And I had said this the other night that there's only, a YouTuber does not reciprocate the hate that a hater gives a YouTuber, because you're the one that reacts to it, not us. We just say what we say, and if you react to it, that's on you. So if you feel the need to say something horrible or mean to a YouTuber, save your fucking breath. Okay?
But that's you're talking like a rational person. It's kind of like trying to talk with Sean Harmon about how his dad isn't the bridge guy. There's nothing rational that you can expect out of that conversation.
I agree.
As much as you try to get through to him, as much as you try to relate to him, as much as you try to respect him, and I'm referring to Sean Harmon, no matter what, if you say that you do not believe his dad is Dennis Harmon, or that the bridge guy is not Dennis Harmon, he literally hates you and you can die.
Yeah, he flips his shit. Listen, I didn't even say that his dad wasn't wasn't bridge guy, and he came on my live stream.
But
and
you're
called
not
me-
spending, but you're not, this is his qualm, is that you're not spending your entire YouTube career explaining that how Dennis Harmon is bridge guy.
Okay, I will now. My
Yeah,
bad.
you have to. We both have to start doing that. That's the only way.
Yeah,
What kind of fucking idiots are we?
I guess, man. I mean, uh, he's not that much different, really,
I
from
got love
some
for
other.
Sean.
Well, no, I'm just saying there are other YouTubers out there that feel the exact same way. That if you don't agree with what they say, they lose their shit. They lose their shit, and I laugh at it, to be honest with you, because for any YouTuber, like you said earlier, we're speculating, we're trying to piece together the photos, what happened that day.
And if
And
anything, it's AA. We're traumatized. You know what I
Right.
mean? If anything, we're in a fucking 12-step program about this case that fucking traumatized us, and we just want to talk about it. Like, let me talk about it. I'm traumatized by it. Like, it really scarred me. What's wrong with us all talking about it and at the same time trying to be productive? It's
Man,
therapeutic.
I tell you what, I lost many, many nights of sleep over this case, and just breaking it down in my head, and I had to stop. I had to stop. Uh, it was affecting my home life. My wife was like, stop it. And the reason I was so invested in it was because I had a daughter a similar age, and we
Me too.
visit trails just like those, and it just scared the shit out of me.
No,
And
it ruined
especially,
it ruined part of my daughter's life because I'm even that much more careful. Because what's crazy is that when it comes to Abby, I see my daughter, and I see how my daughter would be with her friends. Um, but when it comes to my wife, I've actually got her. She actually helps me with a lot of my theories, and she helps me through them, and she helps criticize me and like kind of bring the common sense to it all, and also find where my theories are actually stronger than what I actually know, and help build weight to them. So I'm dragging her into it. That was my strategy.
and it's worked.
Yeah, so far, she helped me with the POI that I sent you, the young guy.
Okay.
Yeah, that a lot of that theory her and I worked on together.
That's cool. Because my wife wants absolutely nothing to do with this. She's well, you have to remember that she has seen the absolute worst of YouTube. Um, and not saying that she thinks everybody is a troll, but she's seen many, many, many people just say just terrible things that they know aren't true. And she's asked me, is it worth it? And I'll say, fuck yes, it's worth it. Yes, it's worth it.
It
Because
is.
people listen to me. I don't know why they listen to me, but people listen to me.
Because you're
And
you.
yeah, because I'm me. Because I've always said this. I try to be the voice of reason. I don't try to sensationalize things, and I
No,
don't.
sometimes when you talk, Bruiser, like you'll be saying, I hate when motherfuckers do this and that. And I'm like, sometimes I feel like you're talking directly at me. And sometimes you may be, without knowing it, but that doesn't mean that you judge me or that you hate me, or
No,
you're just a very honest person, and that's why I respect you. You know what I mean?
I just try. I just try to keep it real. That's
Yeah,
all I.
exactly.
That's all I try to do is keep it real, and yeah,
I just like how
that's
we can disagree. Like you and I are a lot alike, but when it comes to the Delphi stuff and the way people approach certain things, we're only about 80% alike. You know what I mean?
right. Right. I
And that's
mean,
okay.
yeah, there have been times that you and I disagreed on quite a few things, and it never means at the end of the day I don't like you. And a lot of YouTubers are that way. Like, oh, you disagree with Sean Harmon. If you disagree with me, then fuck you. It's like,
No, I
come
had a
on, man.
girl, what's her name? She does a lot of she does like analysis of photos. What the hell's her name? Um Well, anyway, she came on my show and she's like, "You're fucking absolutely wrong." And she like sent a bunch of her followers on my Facebook page and they're like telling me like just keep bringing up her name, and I'm like, "That's fine. You can post all her stuff here. Like, I'm not saying she's wrong, but why are you coming at me?"
Wow. And you invited her on your channel?
I invite That's how I am, dude. I invite if you're an opposing argument, that's important to me.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm the same way. I'll allow relatively anyone on my channel, as long as they can behave themselves. Uh, and someone asked me the other day, am I allowed to have a differing opinion? I was like, God, I'd hope so.
Do
I
you?
yeah, right. God, I'd hope so. I mean, we're here to discuss something that the more opinions, maybe the better. Maybe the better. I see from my start in this, most people have similar opinions. Most people do. Of course, there are some that don't, but I think it goes to show that the general public, for the most part, are reasonable. They're reasonable, and uh, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I just don't agree with introducing false evidence into the case. I don't agree with enhancing photos. I don't agree with uh, exploiting the deaths of two young girls for financial benefit. But these are things I weren't aware of when I first started YouTube, so I had to learn to accept them. Doesn't mean I
Yeah.
like them, but I had to accept it.
Real quick, Bruiser, are you okay to hang out for a little bit? Are you still trying to chat for a while?
Yeah, I'm cool, man.
Okay, I have to drain the main vein. Can you hold down the group for a minute?
Well, for sure.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yep, for sure. Hey, Callie Connect, what's up? Carol, good to see you guys. Amber Alert, Unroyal. it's good to see that some of the people that come to my channel come to this channel, and it goes to show that you guys just really want to get different perspectives on what's happening in this case and what people think about this case, and if you only go right, yeah, with Joni Sullivan, you just said it exactly. Uh, yeah, I don't need to repeat it, but you hit it right on the head. But it's okay to get people to have a different opinion or a different just look at things differently, because it could be Doug Carter says it all the times. It could be that one thing that helps solve this case. And like I said, I'm under no illusion that I'm going to solve this case. I'm a commentary. I just look at things that have happened in the case and I comment on them. But I don't think I'm going to solve this case. But I do believe that maybe one of you out there could. I believe that wholeheartedly. Well, I don't think all of you, but I think a few of you could. Like I said, there are some people out there that are so damn hateful and so damn, just because they don't like a YouTuber, that means what that YouTuber says is invalid. And that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Because I was the first, and maybe, I don't know about the only, but I gave Gray Hughes more support than any other YouTuber. I said, if you want the facts and you want to know what's going on, you go watch Gray Hughes' channel if you can stand it. Go watch it because what he says is factual. And I still believe that. But I wouldn't watch him. I wouldn't watch him because of his attitude. Yeah, there's too much hate in the world right now. But it's important that we just band together. We're all on the same team. I say it all the time. We're all on the same team. There's no reason to argue with one another. We can have different opinions. We can have different ideas, and we can share them and not get mad at one another. Hell, Sleuth and I don't agree on a lot of things. The captain and I don't agree on a lot of things. The True Crime Jesus and I don't agree on a lot of things. But we talk them out, and we're reasonable with one another. But
Honest.
shit, honest. We're
Whenever
honest.
I talk to True Crime Jesus, he's one thing I respect about him is that he's honest with me. I'll share something with him, and if he'll give me his honest opinion.
Yeah.
And I respect that.
Yeah, me too. Hey, my turn, brother. You're going to have to hold the fort down for just a second.
Okay. So while he's doing that, let's pull this back up. Have to share my screen. Because it looks like we have a lot of people that just came into the room. Make sure we get some eyes on this. So yeah, think for yourself. I mean, how hard is that?
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back, sir. So I went ahead and put these images back up on the screen. You getting cold over there?
Yeah, yeah, it's chilly out here.
Man, it's cold over here. I mean, 60, 50, 55 is cold for me.
Oh shit, man. I wish.
Almost gonna put my PJ long pants on. Some long johns.
I think you've really hit on something, and it could be pareidoia. I'm willing to admit that, but the red circle could be a patch of some sort.
That's what somebody told me, dude. It was an old lady that I've never talked to, who's been on my YouTube group. She never comments. Every once in a while, she'll like some stuff. She sent me a message and she says, I'm pretty sure that's a Logansport police officer. That's what they look like. So I went ahead and looked them up. And she's not the only one. She was just kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. So I looked at it. She said, what I think's going on in this area here are these large collars that they have. You see it?
Yeah.
So we might think he has a hood on, but really it's this large collar flipped up mixed with something that he's got wrapped around his neck using to cover his face.
Have you turned it? Have you tipped anyone in?
Yeah, I've tipped in 2 people.
Yeah.
2 years apart.
I tipped in 1.
I should be tipping in a lot more. I mean, it can't hurt. It's just an email.
I actually had the opportunity.
Or a call. Yeah, the first one was a call.
Yeah, I actually met with the FBI. Talk about a fucking scary incident.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be scary.
Yeah. But they were very receptive to what I said, and they were very thankful for me coming. I make an appointment to come and talk to them, and I can't say what they're going to do with, with my information, but my information was someone from the area, someone that had access to Libby, someone that knew the trail system, and they wanted to know why I thought this person was a person of interest to me, and those were the type of things that the tips that they were looking for, and that's why I tipped in who I did.
Yeah, and if something compels you enough, I mean, you should, because they have information where they can probably exclude people right off the bat. You know what I mean?
Right. But it was wearing on me for a long time. Like, should I do this? I mean, I don't know that this guy is guilty in any way, but like I felt like you did. What could it hurt? If he's innocent, he has nothing to worry about.
Mm-hmm. I mean, come on. They did a search warrant on Ron Logan's property. He's innocent. Because they had to. What kind of fools would they be if they didn't?
Someone's asking me if I know the name D Story by any chance. D Story.
Unroyal is we communicate behind the scenes. This guy is super smart. He may not say the things that everybody's on board with because of course they're in that echo chamber. But he's in the pits, man.
Yeah.
David.
I am familiar. I have heard that name. I've heard that name.
Bruiser, where's Crawfordsville?
Crawfordsville is on the, I believe, the east side of Indiana. Matter of fact, let me just take a look here real quick to verify that. But I think it's on the east side, east central side of Indiana.
The east side.
Yeah, I believe so. It's like in the central, east central side of Indiana.
How far from Delphi would you say?
200
200 yards?
No, hours. Hours away. Like I would say maybe 3 hours away, 2 hours away, perhaps, if I'm not mistaken.
Like a 200-mile drive.
Yeah, here we go. Here, I have a map here. It is just north of Indianapolis, so it's in central Indiana, and it's about. Yeah, I can't really say how far it is from Delphi. I'm trying to look here. The map's kind of cut off, but Crawfordsville, I would say at least an hour and a half away from Delphi.
Okay.
At the minimum.
Maybe 100 miles away.
Maybe a little bit further. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. It amazes me how many sick murders take place in Indiana. I mean, there are some, even since I've been a kid, Lisa Bowers was shot in the chest with a crossbow. I knew some kids in high school that shot a guy in the head with a .22, then chopped his dick off and stuck it in his mouth. There have been numerous brutal killings in the state of Indiana, and you think of Indiana as a friendly state.
Well, to be honest, man, it's every state. That's what's scary. That's the United States.
Right. It is. I mean, Detroit is a little different. Detroit's a little different. It's a little bit more violent than most. My camera fell here. Sorry about that.
You got it on your heater?
I had it behind my heater on my tripod. I got to keep my heater out here for my guinea pigs. In case you didn't know this, I have a guinea pig farm.
Yeah, I saw you had I know you had at least one.
I've got 5.
Yeah, my daughter had 2, but she gave them away. She wasn't keeping their little homes clean enough.
Yep, that's what it takes, man. Wow. I'm having problems with my camera.
.501 field jacket. It sucks because I can't click on these links in StreamYard. the mods put up.
Oh, you can't?
Not from here. I have to like go to YouTube and do it.
Oh.
Let me stop sharing that. Yeah, let's see what the chat's got going on here. Roy was talking about some Delphi investigations that happened early on, possibly out of state. Is that what you're saying, Roy? Bruiser, you do seeds at all?
What do you mean seeds?
Do you make any seeds for your strains at all, or you just do
No,
clones and stuff?
I do clones.
Me too.
Yeah. I mean, I've used seeds in the past, but I just have used like clones because they seem to work a lot better.
They do. Do you? Well, you probably have too many plants to worry about it, but low stress training?
No.
So you're cutting.
Yeah. I have a partner that is into the genetics part of it, and he's a weedologist. I mean, this guy knows more about how to defoliate and how to get the best yield out of your plants. So I've been really lucky to have him involved. So
I mean, it is a science. And look what Amber, you know what's funny is I always purchased weed, or I have somebody who grows like, in large quantities. They have their own warehouses and things like that where they're growing professionally. So I never had to worry about it. Plus I have my medical card, but once it was legalized, yeah, definitely I went, I can grow up to 12 plants. So yeah, I hear you on that. Wherever you're at, they need to catch up with the times. And it's funny because I know Bruiser's a conservative for the most part, as well as me.
Yep.
And the majority of conservatives don't agree with marijuana. So to be honest, we consider ourselves conservatives at heart, but to be honest, we're somewhere really in the middle. If you think about it.
Yep. I for my friends, I did a video showing them my farm, because farming is not a job; it's a lifestyle. You really have to commit to it, and I'm lucky that I have a partner that can help take care of things when I go on vacation, and make sure things are taken care of. But yeah, I'm just a lucky guy. I really am.
Yeah. And I want to tell everybody out there, because I know the same method that's worked for Bruiser is the same method that's worked for me, and that's just trusting God.
Yeah.
And things will just be, everything will work out. You'll have your fabulous wife, you'll have a nice home, you'll have your 9 to 5, you'll have your money income, you'll have your hobbies. You'll be living a great life. It just works out that way.
And I never thought I deserved any of that because
Me
of
neither.
such a shitbag I was when I was a teenager and early 20s. And God has blessed me, and so I do my best now to spread the word about God. And if you care about the Delphi case, prayers will help. I firmly believe that. I know that prayers aren't answered immediately, but put your faith in God, because you don't have anything else to put your faith in.
I don't know why, but for some reason that reminded me of a Garth Brooks song, "Unanswered Prayers." Are you familiar with that?
Hell no.
He it's a song. He says he thanks God for unanswered prayers, because he would pray and pray and pray and pray for certain things, and certain things they didn't come true, and then his life turned out to be perfect. Um, so he thanks God for unanswered prayers. Because
Yeah,
the unanswered prayers are really God was giving you what you needed the whole time, like, you know what I mean?
true that. True that. Yeah. Maybe I should listen to it because there's one thing I like, it's music with a message. And
I grew up with that kind of stuff. Like, I can't get past the fact that, I grew up kind of like a redneck in country. As much as I fought it, and it was into gangs and turned to hip hop, and I lived hip hop. I was a graffiti artist, I was a break dancer, I was an MC and a DJ. Like, I can do all those things. I lived it. But I can't erase who I am, as and who my family was, growing up listening to Garth Brooks and stuff like that. So still part of me.
it's nostalgia.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's nostalgia.
And the older I get, the more I get it.
Yeah. Yep. The more I get, the older I get, the more I get it. So to be blessed with the family that I have, and a lot of people know this that follow me from the get go. I hid my identity because I wanted to protect my family. Because I saw people out there just, going after families and shit like that. And that was the only reason I ever protected my family. And uh, after I was doxxed and nothing happened about it. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's stupid enough to come over to my house and try to cause me problems. Um, and I talked to my wife about it, and I said, "Hey, do you mind if I take the mask off? I mean, all it's done is basically piss people off that I don't show who I am. And
Yeah.
even though I show who I am, I would venture to guess that not one person in here knows my real name
No.
because they don't care. Because they don't care. They're not here for me. They're here for Abby and Libby, and they're here for two guys that have devoted a lot of their life into discussing the case and trying to help in any way that they can.
They're saving
And
that time, and they're smart for doing that. We've spent
yeah,
the time. Go ahead, and you should start from that point. You don't have to agree with us. As a matter of fact, I would prefer that you don't. Because if you don't agree with me, that way you can give me your insight and your opinions and your perspective, and then hopefully I can learn and grow from that in
agreed,
return.
agreed. But just to call somebody names and not have you know a an idea that is different than ours, that's a waste of time. If you're gonna disagree with us, please tell us why, because I'm a reasonable person. I'll listen to what you have to say, and I'm sure Sleuth is the same way. We're not the type of people just because you don't agree with what we say doesn't mean that we won't agree with what you say. You could change our mind. Hell, Sleuth has changed my mind on several things. You
Yeah,
know,
and you've made my entire thought process go a different direction. And that's what I'm saying. Why can't I be wrong, or why can't I allow you to be right, and then by you being right, because our ultimate goal is the same, we're both right together because of your leadership. You know what I mean? I'm with you. You just happen to be leading the run at that point in time, instead of like, no, I'm doing this. Now you have to sit back in timeout because I'm doing big things now. It's like, no, we're all doing this together.
right?
That's one thing. The egos that I see out here are,
Phew.
um, and sometimes I'm so tempted to call out names, but at the same time, it's just not worth it.
No, because that's what they want.
Hmm.
That's what they want. Uh, you know, I mean, I'm sure there are people out there that think that I have an ego, but that's until they get to know me and get to come to my channel and
Well,
learn that.
you do have an ego, Bruiser, but you've admitted that, and you have your ego in check, just like my ego is in check.
Right.
We both have egos. Obviously, we do, because we both come out in front of everybody, and we're alphas and we're leaders. So it's okay to have an ego, but you can't be an egotistical maniac. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah, and the other part of it is every human has an ego. Every human. It's just part of the human psychology. That some are more profound than others, but we all have our egos. But for anyone out there that disagrees with anything that I've said, bring it on. Let me know what I'm wrong about, and I'll give it thought. And if I think you're wrong, I'll be respectful about it. I'm not out here to start a fight with anyone, uh, unless you start a fight with me. You know.
Yeah, don't come at me. Don't threaten me, and then come in arm's length. That's all, and we're
Yeah.
always good.
Yep. Yep. As somebody put, you guys act all mysterious and don't talk facts. Shaking my head. Really?
She might be right. Automatically, I thought it was a girl. Sorry, ladies.
Yeah, I don't understand what facts I haven't talked about. Anything I talk about is factual. I make
Yeah,
it a
Sean.
point. I make it a point not to talk about things that aren't factual.
You're
So
mysterious. Hey,
I,
Bruiser,
I,
you're mysterious. She's
I
gonna
I'm
dox you.
oh my god. Too late, too late, sweetheart. Yeah, get in line.
Don't dox him.
Yeah.
You're mysterious. And I had somebody on my Facebook group go, "What about Sleuth? He might be the bridge guy." And then one of the mods is like, "He shows his face like all the time on YouTube." It's funny.
Yeah. It is funny. Uh, and I wonder if I've been tipped in, which the police have never uh, talked to me or questioned me about where I was February 17th, 2017. Never. Even when I talked to them that day, they had no interest for a few reasons. I'm 6'1". I'm 220 pounds. Um, I don't sound anything like the bridge guy, and I just don't think they had any interest in questioning me. And
Yeah,
plus,
but
I came to them.
you were covering your face, so obviously you are the bridge guy.
Right. Yeah, that must have been it. But hey,
Mhm.
but I did not cover my face when I talked to the FBI. Yeah. I was straight up. As a matter of fact, I called the captain and I said, "How do I get in contact with the FBI? I do not want to send an email. I do not want to make a phone call." And he gave me the home the home base, if you will, of where they reside. And I went there. They weren't there. I left a note on the door saying, "Please call me as soon as possible. I have information regarding the Delphi murders, and I need to talk to you." I got
Damn.
a phone. I got a phone call less than a day later.
That's how you get shit done.
Yeah. Uh, well, because I felt strongly about it. Like I said, this was something. You know, this was something that weighed heavy on my heart for a long time because I didn't want to accuse somebody that was innocent. But when I saw them do some of the things they did, I was like, why in the hell would you do that? And I just thought that they needed to be looked at.
What would it hurt? What does it hurt to tell them
Right,
that?
exactly. And if he was innocent, then he had nothing to worry about.
tip never hurt anybody. And the one thing that law enforcement does, along with them saying, "Hey, no side by sides and stop doing stuff like that," they also say no tip is too small. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that also goes for the flasher that was on Real Chill Gras.
The flasher.
No tip is too small.
I cannot believe someone showed their junk on Real Chill Grass's live stream.
I know who it was.
Oh yeah, yeah. Are you like Belinda Ballbreaker from Porky's? He's like, I
Mhm.
recognize that penis.
No, but I recognize boxers, legs, tan lines, and shoe size.
I can't believe they did that. I know that their purpose was to get Graz a strike, and just so you know, that did not happen.
Well, he was
Graz,
smart. He was smart about it, dude.
yeah, he was.
Yeah, he goes, "Hey," he's all, "Should I stop and restart?" I was like,
Hell yeah.
I really didn't give him the correct answer. I was like, "I don't know, man." I was like, "I'm not sure." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna restart it." And he stopped and restarted and ended up being still a great show.
Yeah, he I mean to
I'm a
go to
rookie.
well, that's why I don't let people I don't know or haven't talked to I don't let them on my live streams. We got to have a private discussion ahead of time, and we got to have, you know, I got to get to know you a little bit before I let you on my live stream. I don't make the mistake of letting strangers pop up on my live streams. You know, they might show their junk, and I don't want that.
Well, like a real discussion like this, yeah, definitely. But just on a show where you're just allowing people to call in momentarily, there's got to be a way where you can vet them a little bit better. But I understand. I don't do that often either, and um, it usually doesn't turn out well anyway.
True.
But
True.
uh,
I've been lucky in the sense that most of the people that I've had on my live streams have been entertaining and have been, you know, just have been, entertaining. Like when I had Greeno on the other night, I don't think anybody expected that, and
I
we
caught a
had a
part of that.
yeah we had a really good discussion, and we talked about some of the videos that I had made. And I asked him, I said, what videos that I've made that you agree with and then don't agree with? And he he was honest, and that's all I could ask for from him. And out of anybody in the world to shit on me, it's Anthony Greeno. But that goes to show you how much he's changed and wants to stop all the nonsense of the drama, and that's a good thing.
Wait, I don't know what supposition means.
I'm looking here.
I'm thinking maybe speculation, speculatory thought. What it sounds like, supposition.
Whoa, Fee, if you don't like what the fuck we're talking about, then leave, dude. You don't have to watch us, bro. That's what kills me, man. Is these people come in here and they talk shit, and then, oh, you guys are, nonsense, blah, blah, blah. Then go watch Gray Hughes, dude.
You know what I get from Wolfrey though is that she's curious. And yes, it's a she. I know this is a woman because I have intuition. This is a woman here, and she wants to understand. She thinks it's sensationalism, but it's only because she doesn't know when we have the facts included in all of it. She doesn't recognize what those are and the nuances of what we're actually talking
Well,
about. So I want to give
apparently,
Wolfrey a second chance.
okay, I'll give her a second chance. But you got to understand that when we talk about this case, we don't we don't we try to at least I do. I speak factually. I don't ever and if I do give my opinion, it's my opinion and I'm
Mm.
quick to say so. You know, I just don't know. I just think that, you know, if you're going to come into a live stream and cause trouble, then it's your live stream sleuth. You do what you want.
No, man, you got my back, so we roll together. You know what I mean? If you feel like swinging on somebody, then I start swinging.
Well, I think it's obvious that she doesn't know the first thing about the case because she's saying that and drama, in my opinion, what fucking drama are you talking about? All right. What drama are you talking about? We've talked about the case. We've talked about YouTubers out there that involve people's children, and this isn't drama. These are things that are happening, and these are things that need to stop. So
You see, Carol, she got offended. There was no offense. I'm just saying, honestly, like a guy's not gonna say that. Okay. You as much as I have to be honest, you ladies have to be honest. Come on, let me put it back up here for you. That is not a man.
yeah, I don't believe it is either.
No offense to the real women.
Well, you know, I'm asking you, Wolfrey, to explain yourself. You're the one that accused us of being drama. You're the one, and all
No,
you
she's
do is
saying right now what she's telling you, Bruiser, is you're being dramatic about it.
you think I'm being dramatic?
That's what she's saying.
Okay,
She's like,
listen.
what you're doing right now when I even questioned you. I think that's what she's saying. She's
Okay,
like, look at us. She's talking to both of us. She's saying, look at both of you. You're being dramatic just because of my. So she's saying she's able to trigger us.
okay, listen. She hasn't seen me be dramatic. All right. Yeah, go back and look at some of my old videos there.
He's
And,
preaching right now. He's trying to help you.
right. Yeah. If you think I'm being dramatic now, no, I'm asking you to explain yourself.
No,
If you think that we're being dramatic about
we're
someone
not.
coming, yeah,
We're not.
about someone coming in here accusing us of not knowing what we're talking about, then explain yourself.
It's not a man.
But no, but you won't because you don't know the case. And it's obvious that you don't know the case.
Oh, wait. What? Big Daddy? What happened? I know that soprano life. What'd you get into? A shootout with the New York crew? New boss?
It's
What
pretty
happened?
obvious. It's pretty obvious when somebody doesn't know much about the case.
Yeah, and I think that she's not very political, so she doesn't know how to ask that question. But I mean, she got my attention, so maybe that's what she's trying to do. I'm not sure. But the floor is open now. Come on, let's hear it.
Yeah, I'll give you the opportunity to rip me, to tell me what I've said wrong, to what I
Everybody
don't know
has a
about.
voice.
Yeah, you have every right to say what you want to say.
I'm not better than whoever that is. Woe
I
free.
am. I am.
Plus, well, plus I like the name.
Oh,
Woe free. That's pretty dope. I'll give her that. But that's about it. See, I always try to be positive, Bruiser. I'm that positive guy.
are you?
hmm I think it helps, man. I think it changes like the molecules that we're made of.
Yeah, maybe I need to be yeah,
The vibration.
maybe I need to be a bit more positive.
Yeah, man, we're all just these vibrating particles. You can't let it get into that negative vibe. Even though they are, you know what I mean? She's obviously there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not. You're not on that vibe. I'm just saying. Like, don't.
Yeah, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna give it much credence. It's just
Call in.
funny.
Oh yeah, call in. As long as you don't show your pecker.
No, maybe she's got a vajayjay.
Oh, that'd even be scarier if it's all weird looking.
Yeah, it would be. It looked like a thimble with a clown wig on.
Look like an old lady's knuckle. A
Uh,
roast beef sandwich turned sideways.
Yep, the old beef and cheddar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to offend anybody that has a beat up for JJ.
Okay.
No offense. We're
Yeah.
just making fun.
Okay, where's she at? She seems to have
Right
quiet.
there. Take your effing mask off. You look foolish. Nobody has a mask on.
Nobody has a fucking mask on. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Oh, maybe she's listening on AM. I'm broadcasting on AM.
Oh. I
Oh,
don't have
you're
a.
on your. Just kidding. No cheddar. See, Carol's like, she's like, I keep my
Yeah.
shit. Don't stop talking shit.
Yeah,
I like
she's
that,
like.
Carol.
Yeah.
It's because she knows what's up. She
Yeah.
knows how to carry herself. Welcome, welcome.
The wizard sleeve.
Oh man, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that weather. I lived in Minnesota for a while, bro.
Man, it gets cold as shit up here, dude.
Dude, I used to have to dig out of my back door, like our back door to our apartment complex, because I lived in Mankato. You know where that is?
Yeah.
Mankato, Minnesota.
Yep.
Yeah. So I used to run around there for a while, and the blizzards would come, right? So when I opened the back door to go to work, and I couldn't drive my truck because the shit was frozen. And even if it wasn't frozen, the roads were fucking all ice, and I would just slide around and smash into some shit. So I had to walk a mile in that fucking freezing cold temperature with like 20 layers on. When I got to work, my whole cheeks were just bright red, dude. And I had to go thaw out in the bathroom with warm water.
I've had to do that.
Feels like razor blades and shit. I love that weather though. Everybody be like, "You need a ride?" I'm like, "No, I'm from a real hot climate. Like, this is amazing." It was the coldest winter in like 30 years, and I was coming from the hottest summer in 30 years from where I was coming from.
When I moved back from from LA, I got on the plane. It was 84 degrees, and when I got off, it was -20.
That reminds me of Cool Runnings. You ever see that movie?
Oh yeah, great movie.
Where they get to the airport and they walk out for the first time, and it's like, oh, they're like freezing and shit. Oh man, that's funny. Well, I think she backed off, buddy. You
Yeah, I
scared
mean,
her.
we gave her every opportunity. Yeah, I mean, I
See?
just.
Thank you, Barb.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we just try to be reasonable, man. We're not trying to stir up drama. We're not trying to. I don't know, man. I hate even addressing it because it's people like that that give the Delphi community a bad name.
But I hate to think that it's like sometimes I just feel like it's somebody we know. That's just like behind the scenes. It's like fucking with us, poking at us and shit. Some kind of troll that we pissed off.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, I hate that
That
shit.
happens. You know what happened? When I took away the dislike count, all the dislikes went away. I used to get, a fair amount, say
Take
10,
away their
12.
power. Take away the
Yep.
troll power.
I did not give them any acknowledgement. And the most I've gotten since then is 3. Just 3. And I don't even, and the only reason I checked it was just to see. And it's what a waste of time to give somebody a thumbs down that could give a shit less about it.
It's somebody that's pissed off always because I do thumbs down sometimes when I'm mad. I'm like, oh, fuck you. Like, psh, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to deny it. Like, I've given, like, every time I go to Gray's Hughes channel and he says something like, I'm ready to watch his show and he says something stupid, I thumbs down, I bounce. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, I
I
don't even
do it.
watch it. I don't even watch it.
No, I go like probably at least every 6 months. I'll go check him. But it's the same thing, man. He has a formula.
You know what I noticed the other day as I was looking through the Delphi, uh, search engine, and one of Gray's videos came up that had nothing to do with Delphi, and I was like, "That's weird." I
Oh,
wonder why that was.
he has his channel linked to Delphi, maybe in the description somewhere.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, because I have some stuff that pops up like that too.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm just glad that there are, for every bad YouTuber, there's 15 good ones, maybe 20. That's what I like. Is especially the new ones. I can't say enough about Cryptics. That guy does short 2-minute videos that just really make you think about how he did one video where a guy was asking for directions and a guy came in between them with a piece of wood, and the last guy holding the piece of wood grabbed the piece of paper and talked to the person that he was asking for directions from, and he never noticed that he was talking to a different guy. And
I've seen those experiments online with twins even.
yeah, and I just think that's, even Clutch had said this, that this person, bridge guy, is the type of person that can fool you, that you would have no idea would do something like this.
Somebody does though. He has a really close friend or a brother or maybe that best cousin of his where they kind of grew up like brothers. Somebody knows. I know his wife doesn't know. I know his church doesn't know. I know potentially the police department that he worked for doesn't know. His neighbors don't know, but somebody does know.
Yeah.
Somebody. And what we're doing right now, Bruiser, is we're putting pressure on that somebody. So as long as we keep doing what we're doing, if anything, we're gonna get. It's like gambling, when we were talking about poker in Las Vegas and everything, playing that. Catching bridge guys is just us playing that game. But truthfully, the most important thing is that we're putting pressure on the people that do know and that can really absolutely 100% change this whole thing for the better. And if they come out and they say, you know what, all these YouTubers, they never gave up, they never stopped, I had to come forward. Dude, right there, I'll know, like that was all God. Like, I don't know why I'm obsessed with this freaking case. All I know is I have a daughter this age and it upset me. And I know that I wouldn't be as calm as these people. Like, I would burn the world down. I might even become a serial killer. To be honest, you
Oh
fucking
my.
you kill my daughter. Yeah, dude, who knows what I'm capable of. So maybe that's who we're looking for. Maybe somebody who lost a kid or something like that. Because I tell everybody, like, man, you touch my daughter, I'll burn this whole fucking planet down. I'll try to.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you. I feel you. That's when I got doxxed. Some very, very evil things ran through my mind. And it took the power of God and prayer to get that anger off of me. Because one thing I don't take kindly to is someone trying to harm my family or bully me. I don't take kindly to people bullying me.
Mm-hmm. It's never
Yeah.
happened in my life.
Yeah.
Where they got away with it.
Somebody put
Well, the
here.
thing is,
Go ahead.
certain type of people, Like, it's okay online if you want to talk to me, you want to talk shit to me, you want to troll me, you want to criticize me. Like, to be honest, I don't shake my head at it at all. I might even engage and start trolling you back. You know what I mean? In a weird type of um, some kind of strange chess game, just for the hell of it. But if you were to, let's say, just speak out like you knew my daughter's name and you spoke it, I would find you. I would consider you such a threat to my life and my daughter's well-being at that point. I would now become offensive. I would now go on the offense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I try to keep my identity um, as much under wraps as possible, because I know somebody stupid who doesn't know any better is going to cross that line, and I'm ready to cross it right back in the worst kind of way.
What would you do if Derek Gotzi mentioned your family?
Derek Gotzi, that's something different. I'm not worried about that person.
Okay.
So a professional troll who's trying to trigger. I know what he looks like. If I saw him, then it's on. I'm always ready for that. But somebody like Derek Gotzi doxing me and doing something like to be honest, even if somebody did dox me, I wouldn't really mind. But it depends on the context. You know what I mean?
Well, doxing is used to cause fear.
Yeah. And I'm
That's
not
the whole.
afraid. Because the thing about me is that there's the reason that I'm so good at this is because there's these type of people, they could have gone either way in life. You know what I mean? There's certain minds, let's say like my type of mind, if I was abused as a child, like molested by my parents and like attacked, I probably could have been like a psycho killer. But now the way that I was raised and my relationship with God and all that stuff, I'm now like a soldier of God, because all the angels that fell from heaven, the fallen angels, they were with God at one time. You know what I mean? They went bad. So you're either good or you're bad, in my opinion. And I just think that some of these people are abused, certain mind frames, like your intelligent mind, Bruiser. If you were an abused child and you felt helpless, you would use that great mind for maybe one of the deadly sins, revenge, things like that. Those are the things that cause you to chase those deadly sins. Is
I have.
ungodly situations.
I have.
I was a pretty bad teenager myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
They put here a little dose of drama. Now checkmate. What drama? What the fuck drama are you talking about?
Her. What she's the drama.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, she's the pill. She thinks we're
Okay.
swallowing the pill.
Oh, okay. I was confused for a second. Yeah.
See, that's the type of manipulation. That's what I like to call, it's not 4D chess, but it's more like checkers.
Yeah.
It's got a couple layers. It's got a couple layers to it.
Well, I like I said, it's obvious they don't know the first thing about the case, and to come in here and accuse two people that have been one for 5 months, one for over 4 years, talking about this case. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but
Wait, did you say 5 months?
Is that what you said? 5 months?
No, I've just been doing my YouTube channel for 5 months. So
Right,
I've been
that's
looking
right.
at the case for at least 4.
Okay. But
You more like 5.
yeah. BG being Leo supposition. I don't remember ever saying that British guy was Leo.
Who is Leo?
I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Again, proves they don't know what the hell.
Leonardo DiCaprio. I knew it.
Leonardo
fucking
da
knew it.
Vinci.
No, DiCaprio.
DiCaprio.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just sounds scary.
Yeah. Wolfrey, if you were on my channel, you would be gone in a heartbeat. Just because you add no substance to the conversation. And I'm always for people having different points of view. No one said that it was definitely a law enforcement. What they said was that the jacket looked like a Logansport police officer jacket, and it needed to be looked at. That's what was said. We never said that it was definitely a fucking cop. Get your lies straight before you fucking come out here and run your cocksucker like you know what you're talking about. Okay, seriously. You can run your bruiser pleaser all day long, and I don't give a shit.
Oh, Leo is a law officer?
Yeah.
Law enforcement officer? Oh,
Yeah.
Leo, let's see. Okay, I'm stupid. Okay,
Yep.
BG being law enforcement officer. Yeah, why couldn't he be? Nobody said he was, but you have to
Yeah.
consider the possibility, right? We're
No.
investigators here.
No. Wolfrey knows
Wolfrey.
more. Yeah, she knows more than we do. She's been doing this a lot longer. Obviously.
No, I didn't say that the bridge guy is ex law enforcement. I'm saying we have to consider the possibility that he may be ex law enforcement.
Because of
And
the
wait, hold on, Bruiser. But if she understands that he's not, that means that Wolfrey actually knows who Bridge Guy is. So I want to talk to Wolfrey. So continue talking, Wolfrey. Who are you exactly? If you know that Bridge Guy is not law enforcement, you stated as a fact. Well, who
Yeah.
is Bridge Guy?
Yeah, good point.
You're here obviously to talk about that.
And I want to be clear. The only reason you said that is because the jacket resembles a police officer's jacket. That's why he said that. He didn't say that he was a cop. Hell, it's possible for another person to have a cop jacket. Yeah. So
Yeah, a son of a cop, a family member of a cop, somebody who stole a cop's jacket, somebody who purchased a cop's jacket, an old from military surplus. I
you
mean, dude,
even
do you even use your brain?
no, no, they don't, because you were clearly said that
Wait,
it
I
could
sounded
be.
like Gray Hughes. Hold on. I sounded kind of like Gray Hughes there for a second.
You did.
That was rude.
No, you're okay.
Sorry, Wolfrey. I didn't mean it like that. I meant what I said, but not in that condescending tone.
Right. Yeah, I like I said, I think that any person that has things that resemble things that we see on Bridge Guy should be investigated. And there are many people that think that that jacket has insignias on it that look like a cop's badge or a military badge, and those things need to be investigated. And if you don't believe that, then you are a dum-dum.
Here, I'll pull that picture back up.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, that's what she wants to talk about. She must know who she must know somebody that we're pointing out.
Yep, she must.
Yeah, and also, Bruiser, you remember how we always talk shit about Bridge Guy? He's bound to show up, man.
Well, at least we're not begging for money. Huh.
Yeah,
Well,
I would
geez,
rather.
thank you. I mean, because if you follow my channel, you know that's one thing I don't fucking do.
Oh, what? Here's Wolfrey. What'd she say?
She said at least we're not begging for money.
Like Hughes.
Yeah.
No, but I might want to start begging for money for a private investigator. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah. That would be cool. I wonder how many people would donate to that.
Yeah. Could probably hire like a third party to take care of it.
Yeah, really. You probably could.
Just step away, you know. I don't want to be I don't want to run it, but I
No.
want to create that type of thing, you know. Just have a third party that does that.
Yeah, I would donate to it, but I would not want to be the one that you know was in charge of it by any means.
Yeah, I got an easy 2 bills on it. $200 for
Yeah,
sure.
I donate some.
Damn, imagine if we did something real, you know? Like really real.
Well, at least they gave us a compliment that we don't beg for money.
I always hear about YouTubers making money. I'm like, is that possible?
Right. One friend of mine said that they did YouTube for a year and made $100.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's pretty
but
good.
damn, but a year?
That's tight.
Yeah.
I'll be happy with that. And the reason that I don't hate on Sean Harbin that much is because I'm kind of just as obsessed as he is. I mean, look at this fucking picture.
Yeah, but you don't believe it's his father. I mean, well,
I don't believe it's not his father.
okay. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I mean, I don't think it is. He's not on like any type of list that I have. I don't have a folder on Dennis Harbin.
Have you seen pictures of him?
Hmm.
Yeah. So I mean that's why I don't think it is. But
Yeah,
that's just
I
my
looked
opinion.
at the I went and checked out before any of this was even popular. Um Sean Harmon had reached out to me, and it was before anybody really knew. I didn't see him anywhere. I never seen him on YouTube. I never seen him on Facebook. And he's like, "Hey man, I see you're always commenting on the YouTube videos." He's like, "I got something to tell you." He's like, "I've been trying to tell everybody that I know that I seen on the videos. I see you on like all the videos commenting." He's like, "My dad is the bridge guy." He's like, "I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it." So he started sending me stuff like he does now. But it was like almost like it was one of the first times he's ever done it, so it seemed fresh. So basically what he does every day is what he did the first time. He just keeps doing it every day, every day. It's like the Groundhog's Day with
It
this
is.
guy.
It is like
Um,
Groundhog Day.
but I went and I checked out all the videos. I went and looked at the houses, the addresses, watched his YouTube videos where he's in like the camper and he's talking about the crash in his yard. So I looked into him, and the voice is very similar. That much I do know.
Huh. But for him to accuse his dad of being a killer of multiple murders, I don't know, man. I just think that if that were the case, he would be caught by now.
You know what's going on with that is that once he came out about his father. See, I'm trying to look at it through a psychological perspective. I can see him getting overwhelmed by all the information and his interaction with the Delphi community, and then how you can start tying things together. You know what I mean? How some people do, and I think that became contagious to him, and his mind wandered. But you have to focus on the original thought that he had. The other stuff I just cut away. I see that as some type of maybe an imbalance or something from drug use that could cause him to have maybe lack that mental prowess to stop that from happening. But I mean, it even happens in us occasionally. You know, we go down like a weird rabbit hole. He just doesn't recognize that it's a rabbit hole. Like to him, it's like legit facts.
He just needs to understand that there is the possibility that he's wrong. That's all. I mean, like I said, I understand his passion, but he has to understand that there is a possibility that he's wrong. And
Nope.
yeah,
Nope.
right. Nope. He will not do that.
Don't you fucking say it.
Yeah, don't you fucking say it. Yeah, but I mean, seriously, man. Anybody that has accused anyone of being bridge guy, and there's been quite a few, are much like Sean Harmon, where they do not swerve or from what they believe. They like, nope, I'm right. That's that. If you don't agree with me, then you're wrong.
What is
And
that? I've encountered that multiple times.
it's ego. It has to be
Is that what
ego.
it is? Ego?
Has yeah.
You think Sean Harmon has like a crazy ego?
He's got something. I don't know. I don't know if it's ego. I
He
think it
does
might
look
be.
like Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, that bandana is badass.
Dude, I'm getting the craziest messages right now.
Really?
Dude, they are blowing my mind. We should end this live so I can talk with you about this.
Okay. Sure.
Guys, hopefully I can follow up with you on this stuff that I'm getting right now, but I want to kind of talk privately with my buddy. Anything you want to say to him, Bruiser?
No, thanks for joining us, and really appreciate it. If you haven't had a chance to go watch my latest Delphi video, I touched on it a little bit, and you might find it interesting.
It's a good video.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks for everybody that's involved in the Delphi case that's wanting this solved, because like I said, it's going to be you guys that solve this case, and we need you. So thanks again.
You want to give any shout outs?
Yeah, Cryptics. Go check out Cryptics. Go check out Unroyal Sleuth. I there's a couple I'm missing, but yeah, those are the ones off the top of my head that I think are really good at what they do.
Shout out to Wofree for hating.
Yeah.
And at least we're not begging for money like Hughes with the Z. I like that. We got to use that Hughes.
Yeah. Man,
see, Wofree's good for some. See, you got to look at the positive side. She just gave us the Hughes with the Z.
No shit, man. Right.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, guys. Royal says peace out. Otto, fire in the bowl.
Yeah. Good to see you, Otto.
Amber, thank you for that. She's holding it down.
Yeah. Thanks, Amber.
Amber and AJ.
All right, guys.
Thanks, AJ.
Yep. I'll catch you later. You gonna Zoom me, Sleuth, or what are we gonna do?
Right now, I'm gonna Zoom you right now.
Okay, I'll be ready. See you guys.
Right.
Have
Peace,
a good one.
guys.